Wondery Plus subscribers can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free right now. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hello and welcome to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Yay indeed, Jimmie. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you folks so much, an immense amount for joining us again this week. Once again, hope you enjoyed last week, the tribute to Lenny Dykstra's 2 years of freedom. That was a good time had by all. 2
years of freedom, and if you'd have started working on it the day you got arrested, you would have just finished it.
Just finished. Perfect.
That's so much work.
It was a lot of editing and all that, and a lot of work from Sarah and Adam getting people to call in and everything. And if you enjoyed that, I have to say, everybody, athletes out there who we've covered, if you're listening, because we found out a lot more of you guys listen than we had anticipated. Yeah, you're kind of under the radar. Yeah. But you listen. So anybody out there, if we've done an episode on you, and you, not if you're a Zoom off, okay?
Right.
If you've touched a kid or beat the shit out of your wife 5 times, we don't want to talk to you probably. But if you had a drug problem and you had some shit and whatever, we don't care.
Yeah.
We've had problems ourselves. All of our friends are fucked up. It's no problem. You want to talk to us? We'll talk to you too, and we'll be nice to you.
In 2 years, Ryan Leaf.
Yeah. No.
He just reset the clock. It'll reset again.
And I called Ryan. Everyone's like, "Hey, look, Ryan Lee's doing good." No, I said, "No, give him time." Yeah. No, he's just. You could see it in his eyes. Yeah. You could see it. He was just biding his time the whole time. He was good. Now, every second of that time was, "I got to go out and do something. I got to go out and do something. I got to go out and do it." Like you could see it in his eyes. Fuck him.
The thing that I saw was just, it's very much like quitting cigarettes. Anytime somebody goes, "How'd you quit cigarettes?" You just put in my mind that I want a cigarette right now.
Exactly. And every time they ask
him,
he's
out there every day talking about, "This is how I quit Oxy. This is how I quit Oxy." And his head's like, "I want Oxy."
So tell us about your painkiller addiction. What did it feel like?
Good.
It's
great.
How did it feel to be on 30 Oxys at the same time? How did that feel? Was that?
I miss it.
Was it okay? Do you feel better now that you're completely stone sober? Can feel all your aches and pains and everything? You feel better though as a person, right?
Does your wife ever annoy you because you just want that shit and then you just fly off the handle and punch her?
So
never.
It's ever happened to you? Never. I don't know. I guess it's just me. So anyway, open invitation unless you're a real dickhead, and you can tell if we liked you or not on the show. If we were like, "Oh, fuck this guy," then probably not. But if we were like, "You're not kind of rooting for this guy," then sure. Come on.
If we used the phrase "we were rooting for him," we probably still do.
That's the thing. That's how it works there. So thank you for that. This week, wild episode, crime right off the bat. Right. This is one where we get out of the gate hot, no waiting on it or anything like that. It's quick, first, foremost, and throughout. Let's do it. I love it. Real quick, though, have to tell everybody thank you for your reviews last week and every week that people do that. Your reviews are so helpful. We don't know why. Right. The Apple Podcast purple icon reviews, we don't know why they're helpful. They help drive you up the charts. So if you haven't yet, give us 5 stars and, I don't know, say something. It doesn't matter what you say. Also, if you want to get some more information, also if you want to get some merchandise, go over to shutupandgivememurder.com for everything crime and sports and small town murder related. I don't know what you're doing if you're not listening to Small Town Murder. You're missing out. New merchandise up all the time. Tickets to live shows if they ever happen. You'll have tickets, and then if they happen,
on the fucking Lake of the Ozarks.
Yeah, for 5 fucking minutes, please. So we could have live shows eventually. Yeah. No, that's one of those things. We're not trying to get political or any fucking stretch of the imagination. It's not political.
Public health should never be political.
Here's the deal. We'd like to have live shows, okay? Because that's how we make our living. So selfishly, we'd like to have live shows. And you know what else, too? They're fun. Yeah. We've worked our whole fucking lives to get to the point where we could sell a room full of fucking people to listen to us yap and laugh at it. Yeah. Do you understand how much fucking work that is to get from, I'll sign up for the open mic, to 1,000 fucking people or bought tickets to see you? Do you know what a fucking monumental uphill fucking climb that is. I get other people do it in their job. People go to medical school. It's much harder, but try that. Go try it. You know how many working comedians there are in this country that actually can fucking sell it more than 30% capacity tickets? It's like fucking 24.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's really fucking hard. So we really want to do live shows.
We're thankful and grateful for the opportunity to be able to do it. So we want to give it back to you.
Please be careful so we can eventually do this. I get it. I get you. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I believe me. Just be careful for me, for us, for all of us. Damn it.
If you hate your kids, do it for us.
Do it for us, man. James and Jimmie have suffered long and hard. They deserve this.
Jesus.
They deserve live shows. So that's okay.
We're trying so hard.
Okay, merchandise.
That's all.
You know how that goes.
It's on the website.
It's on the website. You know how it is. If you want to be a hero of ours, if you want to be a producer, very easy to do that. You can do that over at patreon.com/crimeinsports. We'll say your name at the end of the show. Jimmie will mess it up.
Probably.
And then you'll have access to all the Patreon stuff, which is awesome. We have tons of good Patreon bonus materials. Small Town Murder was last week, was Jimmie telling me the story. So if you'd like to hear that, that was last week's Small Town Murder. And you get access to the Crime and Sports and Small Town Murder archive through the Patreon there. And if you want to just be a nice person, that's over at PayPal. You can use our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com. Make a one-time donation. That said, let's get started.
Let's do it.
Let's do this. We had to clear out some house cleaning at the top of the show. What are you going to do there? So let's get into it. Our star of the day here, it's Corey Dillon.
Okay.
You remember Corey Dillon, Jimmie, the running back for the Bengals and the Patriots.
Right.
He's a Super Bowl champion.
Right.
He's, let's talk about, he's had an interesting life, Corey Dillon here. Yeah, very interesting life. Corey James Dillon is his full name here. CJ, he doesn't go by CJ.
No?
A lot of running backs go by CJ.
They do.
And OJ.
Yeah.
Simpson,
There's a
Anderson.
lot of J.
Yeah, there's a lot of J.
There's TJs too?
TJ, yeah. Bro,
TJ Duckett?
Running backs. Yeah, TJ Duckett.
Right.
Running back short.
Fucking
CJ
nailed it.
Spillman,
Yeah.
TJ Duckett. Why are the running backs always shortening their name?
How did I
get
do that?
You pulled TJ Duckett out of your
How
ass?
did I do
That's
that?
pretty impressive, Jimmie. Good job. Who do you play for? The Expos?
Eagles?
Was he played for the Royals, I think?
The Philadelphia Expos.
Yeah, the Philadelphia Expos. Then he was traded to the damn it, I almost set up a third actual
The
team.
Denver Blue Jays.
I was going to say the Montreal Royals, but that used to be an actual minor league team.
God damn it.
So never mind.
All right.
Anyway, October 24th, 1974, Corey Dillon is born in Seattle, Washington. Born and raised in Seattle, which I didn't know. I didn't know he was a Seattle guy.
I don't think I can think of anybody that grew up in Seattle that played sports.
Well, we did Jeremy Stevens.
Oh.
Like what? A month ago or something. Jeremy Stevens went to UW. I think he was from Idaho and moved to Washington. So he grew up in Washington too. But this is Seattle time here. So 74 he's born. His mother's name is Jerlene, single mom, and he's got two older brothers too. He's the youngest of three, so he's got Charlie and Curtis are his older brothers. So Charlie, Curtis, and Corey.
Okay.
They went hard with the C's on that one. She loves them. She likes the C's. Yeah. That's what she did here. But Corey knew his father, saw him from time to time, semi-regular basis is kind of how it's described. Not exactly every weekend, but he was, probably showed up for a game or two and maybe graduations and things like that.
Okay.
So he knew his father and stuff. So that's, I guess, sort of.
Probably called him by his first name.
What's up there? Or
How you doing, Chuck?
Yeah, what's up, Chuck? How you doing? Good to see you.
I'm your dad.
They shook hands kind of awkwardly, like two guys at the plant, working different departments, but remember each other from the Christmas party. Chuck, right? Good. Okay. Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Your wife and your wife and kids. How they doing? Right. Yeah, right. I remember that. 3 boys, right? Okay. So, that's kind of where we're at here, I think, with Corey and his dad. But Jerlene did her best. Jerlene hangs in there, and Jerlene, she's a hard worker, and she tries hard to raise 3 kids on her own in the 70s, which is in the late 60s and 70s, which is not easy times at all for anybody, because the economy was in the shits anyway, and you throw in just being poor to begin with.
Right.
If you start a race and you're poor, you're back anyway. But if it's a bad economy too. You're not only back 5 slots, but you're also like underground 3 stories. You have to climb out first and then fucking run from behind. So it's not easy.
Everybody else already started.
It's not easy. Yeah, it's everyone else is kind of a little buried in the bad economy, but you're fucking. Who's that? Hello.
Anybody down there?
Yeah, you're down there.
Who's in the cadaver dogs?
Oh shit! They lived in the Capitol Hill district, which at the time back then was kind of a shit area. I don't know what it's like in Seattle now, but things changed.
I imagine that's downtown, right?
I don't know. Seattle's one of those places where I feel like if you've been there, it looks like they pretty much demolished the city and rebuilt it in like 2004.
Yeah.
Like once Frasier wrapped up, they're like, you know what? Everybody really expects this place to be nice. We should really make it nice. And it could have been nice for longer. I don't know, but that's everything looks newish there. It's a weird fucking place.
Very few chipped sidewalks, even.
Exactly.
It's all just very nice.
Yeah, it all looks like a set.
Yeah.
It all looks like a movie set or TV set on a sitcom when you see them walking down a city street that's on a back lot. That's what the whole Seattle's a big back lot. Right. Seattle, America's back lot. That's what it fucking looks like.
Ken Griffey retired and they finally had enough money to build a real city.
That's what it was. They're like, between Ken Griffey and Frasier, we can do this.
We've got it all.
We've built it. We've built it all. So Corey is known. See, this is the thing about Corey. Corey's known throughout his childhood as he's a follower, as a lot of little brothers are, because they're used to following their brothers. So psychologically, it kind of works for them. But everyone says he's a nice kid. He's, not a dick. He doesn't treat his mom bad. He's not a bad person, but he definitely gets in with a shit crowd and ends up doing a lot of dumb things. I know plenty of people like that. That happens, and that's understandable. He is into sports early, though. That's one of the things for Corey. He's always good at sports because as an athlete, I mean, you can watch him play, and that's not something that would be hidden. You would recognize that right away. When he's a kid that when he's 9, he'd have been way better than all the other 9-year-olds. Bigger, stronger, faster, and kind of just has a different edge to him. So Corey here, his brothers are both good at sports. They're both kind of into sports.
All 3 of them.
It makes it easy for Corey to want to be into sports. And his brothers got him into football on his 7th birthday, I guess. They said, now you can play football. I don't know if that was the Pop Warner or Pee Wee cutoff.
As far as I remember, it's 6, right?
I have no idea. I don't remember. And especially, I don't know in the 70s what it was. In the 70s, you could probably put a 3-year-old in a helmet and stick him out there and be like, it's full tackle. But
he's been chewing on livers.
It's good for him, though, I think. It toughens him up. Right. See, scientists have found, you know how, like, your hands are soft. Let me feel very soft. But let's say you went out and, hoed a field for, say, 6 months. Your hands would be very calloused. So what you got to do is, at this age, their brains, they're still sloshing around in there. Their head's too big. So you want to get it bouncing off the skull in the different directions.
Get a good callus.
You get a good callus on it. That way, later on, they get hit by a bigger guy. It doesn't even hurt them. They don't even notice it. It's just calloused over. They're like, what now? There's boom, right off the bat. See, that's what you got to do.
Callus brain.
Callus that brain up. Once you get that brain calloused up, and also you don't drink water during practice, because that used to also be a thing that they did in football to toughen you up.
Was this in like Bum Phillips' playbook or something? Because that sounds like something
almost like they would say. Yeah, I guarantee you somebody
said that
back in the day said the kids got to get hit in the head a lot early so they get used to it. I guarantee you that's been said to some parent who was worried. Is it bad for them to get hit in the head like that as a kid? Nah, it's good for them. No, they got to bounce around a few times. It builds up some calluses. That way they're not little pussies.
It's like brain broccoli. You heard of it?
You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. You know it happened.
Unbelievable.
You know it fucking happened, man. So.
They did tell us cigarettes were good for us.
Yeah.
They told us.
Imagine they were. Imagine cigarettes were good for us. Let's live in a fantasy world.
The best.
I know a lot of people, they don't smell right, but if you've ever smoked a cigarette after like pasta and sauce,
or an unbelievable steak, and a bottle of water,
or other things,
right.
it's pretty good. So what I'm saying is, if cigarettes were good for us, what a great society we live in. If you could make a cigarette that's good for you but still packed with nicotine, I think that we could really do something.
The doctor's recommending it.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I wouldn't imagine if you went to the doctor and they do your whole thing and go, I'd like to see you up to about a half a pack a day. I got to be honest, like to see you try a little harder, get up to about a half, maybe 15 cigarettes a day, something like that. But at least a half a pack. I mean, come on.
Next time you come in, I want to hear half a Whisman wheeze.
I want to hear some wheezing. I want to hear, your lungs are pretty clear. I don't like that.
I want a good rattly cough.
Yeah, I would love that. That'd be amazing.
That'll tell me you're virile.
Yeah. Ooh, what are you up to? About 2 packs a day? All right. Look at you. Wow.
I can hear
You're
the
like,
help.
my throat hurts. It hurts to smoke that much. Yeah, but it's callousing. That's what you do. You callous it like a toddler's brain. That's you have to do it early. That's why when your kids are young, you got to make them smoke. Yeah. Make sure they have access to your cigarettes.
It's callous.
You callous them. That's what you do as a child. That way they'll be able to smoke more when they're an adult. Right. If they can really get a good...
lose your tonsils, you pussy.
Yeah, come on. Get a good callus going.
Getting your tonsils out is good because then... as you smoke, you can really fill those holes in with callus.
Oh, yeah. You want to really toughen them up. I mean, you play some football and you smoke a couple packs a day before kindergarten. I think you're going to be good.
You're going to live to 110.
You're going to be like leather. You're walking around like Burgess Meredith in Grumpy Old Men. And then for dinner, I eat a half pound of bacon. And I usually drink my lunch. Or the other way around.
Your doctor's comparing you to leather, talking about when was the last time you bought a belt, huh?
Yeah.
See how long leather lasts?
Favorably. Leather lasts a long time.
Does.
I've had these shoes since my bar mitzvah.
They get better.
They're pretty nice. Have them resold. They still work.
They look great. They feel better.
That's what I mean. So you want to last. What do you want to be, all wrapped in plastic out there? All pure?
Loose, falling apart?
All pink and pure? No, get the hell out of here. So they get him into football, and we're talking just like in the front yard. There's some, a little bit of lawn out in the street. They're playing football. There's no real access to a major field or anything like that. But everybody says that Charlie and Curtis beat the shit out of Corey. They showed him no mercy.
Yeah.
No mercy, as you have to do with a little brother.
Right.
You have to, if you're playing basketball, block that shot. Let him know that you got to get around it. That's how you do it.
Let him see. Let him see that I'm taller and he has to shoot over me.
Exactly. You're not
getting better.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what they did. And he was treated like they said they treated him like anybody else that was in their football games of their own age and beat the piss out of him.
Poor fucking kid.
And he was probably the easiest target because he was younger, so people probably went out of their way to hit him hard.
Right.
So, but they said that the first time he ever had a ball in his hand, he went the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So, because he was 7.
As it happens.
And basically his brothers beat the shit out of him for it, so he never did it again. That was that. Very interesting.
Unbelievable.
But to counteract these older children beating the hell out of him all the time in football, he decided that he needed to learn how to work out, get stronger, and
bigger.
Counteract this shit. So he started doing 200 push-ups and 200 sit-ups every day.
That's
as a child.
Lot.
For a child, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
A child?
It's a lot from us.
I'm 39. I wish I could do that.
But yeah, for a child, that's a pretty strenuous workout for a 9-year-old or something. But within, after over his high school or junior high years and everything in late elementary school, he starts really developing into a physical force and good at football too, because he's been playing with older kids for a while. So that helped him also. And he's the type of guy, as a runner, he's the type of guy who isn't trying to go around you at all.
Going through you.
He's lowering his shoulder, and you better want to hit because he's going to hit you.
I like it.
So yeah, that's a lot of those running backs. Those Earl Campbell types that said, I'm going to deliver a hit rather than avoid it.
Yep.
You had your Emmett Smiths who would always avoid. They'd glance off a hit. That's how he lasted so long. Yep. Then you'd have your guys like this that just lowered the shoulder and wanted you to be intimidated by him having the ball. So, but he was really into football. Their house is within walking distance of where the UW plays.
Really?
So, yeah, Husky Stadium there. So that's, they're real into it. I mean, if it's within walking distance, you can hear cheers.
Yeah.
So
fireworks.
If you can hear cheers, see fireworks, and see crowds and shit, you get into that stuff. So he was very into it as well. He plays baseball and football too. He's a really good center fielder with some pop in his bat as well.
Really? He can hit.
He's a two-sport guy. By the age of 13, he's playing baseball. He's playing football. It's 1987.
Yeah.
Grace. This is Grace.
The man's a champion, and this is Grace.
Grace. Yeah, it is. It really is.
Jesus Christ, Corey.
Yeah, he's at this point.
What have you done, Corey?
Quite a bit. Corey's had quite the run of it.
Really?
Let's just say, yeah. Corey's It's not. There's no accident here.
No.
Some of the guys, you're like, if he just wasn't there, maybe that wouldn't have happened. No, Corey. Some people find trouble. Corey's like, you ever watch like the Heathcliff cartoon?
Yeah.
And there's a big fight and it's just a cloud that moves. That's Corey's walking in the middle and there's a cloud that you can never see him because it's just a trouble cloud that he just walks with all the time around him. Corey's got problems, let's just say. And I mean, Corey being the youngest and being also in a situation where if your supervision is lacking a little bit because, your mother has to work a lot so you can eat food and have rent and, lights on and shit.
Right.
You tend to fuck up a lot. And this is like a lot of my friends growing up did stupid shit like this because their families sucked.
Right.
Or their families just couldn't keep an eye on them because they had other concerns or other things going on or work or other kids or whatever the fuck. And I feel like that's kind of Corey's thing here. He slips kind of under the cracks, which he's playing sports and doing things like that. He's doing all the things he should be doing, but then on his off hours, he's cutting up like crazy, going nuts.
He's got two big brothers who will defend him and fix things that don't require the cops, obviously.
And he's not scared, too. Yeah. He's a big dude. He's on the street. He feels like he's formidable because for kids his age, he's a big son of a bitch. And it also makes older kids, a lot of the kids, if you're bigger, we've had this a few times, if you're bigger at a young age, the older kids will take you under their wing a little bit more. And it makes you you always end up hanging out with older kids. Sure. And they tend to make the younger kids do the dumb shit that gets them arrested instead of the older kids. So that's kind of the way I see some of this shit going down for Corey. Now, a lot of these early things came from a book that I found this information really, this is the only place that had it. And they went through juvenile records and the whole deal. It's a book called Pros and Cons, Criminals Who Play in the NFL by Jeff Benedict and Don Yeager.
Wow.
So they did a crazy job of research on people's criminal records. And they were like, talking to players' wives and having them it's wild shit.
From the NFL only, that's all they covered. That's
in this book. Yeah, it's a thick book, and they cover not everybody, obviously. And they said this isn't even the tip of the iceberg, but this is some crazy shit.
There was 4 or 5 years ago. It was before we started this. There was an article out that had like 40% of the players in the NFL had a criminal record. 40%. That seems high.
I mean, it does. It seems high. It does seem high. It's a lot.
I don't see many dentist reports where they're 40% of dentists are criminals. You know what I mean? That's high for a particular profession.
I'd also like to know when those are from. Because that's the thing.
It's not a current problem.
You have to separate the kid shit from the I take it this way. Once there's newspaper articles about how great you are, at that point it's on you. Literally, at that point I'm not your background and all that shit doesn't matter because you are going to, if anything, get out of shit easier. No matter who you are. You know what I'm saying? And
whether you buy it or somebody else
whatever
buys
it is. Yeah. Or if you're a player and you're a professional and you're wealthy, you are treated differently by the police than a regular person.
Absolutely.
We've talked about this. Out of all our people that have done, all our people, crime and sports subjects that have done crazy shit in front of the police that would get any normal person shot fucking 40 times. We've had very few people get shot on this show.
Very few.
And we're talking every color, every size, because they're fucking professional athletes and they have notoriety and they have money, and that's exactly the difference. So we always have to separate the young arrests from the old arrests, because when they're older, I feel like whatever they're getting arrested for, they probably got away with 5 times.
Right.
They probably were caught and let go 3 fucking times for every time they're actually arrested for it. Like DUI. You know how many athletes get let go for fucking DUI?
And how many don't even get arrested or pulled over?
It's harder now because of body cams and shit. But 10, 20 years ago, hey, blah, blah, blah. They used to give tickets.
Mr. Barkley, get home, please.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How many times do you think Charles Barkley got pulled over in Scottsdale?
And
a few.
Mark Grace, forget.
Yeah, and he has goddamn multiple DUIs. So December 7th, 1987, Corey is, do that math, 13 years old. 13. He is indicted on the charge of possessing stolen property.
Indicted
at 13.
In 7th grade.
That's just fancy word for they're going to put charges on him. But
Okay.
still,
Yeah.
he's 13 years old. And that's a thing of possessing stolen property. We don't know if older kids had him. Who knows what the fuck happened.
Could be anything.
I know a million kids who stole a ton of shit at 13.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't hold that against anybody.
I'll bet that if that was a profession, being a 13-year-old, I'll bet that's 80% are criminals.
That's the thing. It's hard. Yeah.
What didn't you do wrong at 13?
Oh, God,
You know
I was
what
a terrible child. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I wasn't good at all. So I'm okay with that. And then the next year, December 5th, 1988, he's charged with theft in the 3rd degree.
Okay.
So that's 13 and 14 years old. He's building his resume. But I mean, like I said, that's kiddie shit. That's theft could be, he could have stole a Snickers bar. We have no fucking idea.
Shit, it could have been a head of lettuce because mom didn't have it.
We have no
Could have been
clue. It
anything.
could have been anything.
Yeah.
That could literally be a stupid shoplifting thing, which kids do that a lot.
Boy,
yeah.
oh boy.
Yeah, come on. So, February 11th, 1989, according to this indictment here, though, this is interesting. February 11th, 1989, he was arrested for, let's quote from the indictment, unlawfully and feloniously did have in his possession with intent to manufacture or deliver a certain controlled substance and a narcotic, to wit, cocaine. So this was crack busts here. He's literally selling crack on the street.
And he's 14?
He's not even 15 yet. Yeah, he's almost 15. So, yeah, and he's selling crack here. Apparently, an officer, an undercover cop on the Seattle police force, was in the downtown area attempting to make drug purchases and busts from street dealers. 9:30, he was approached by Corey Dillon and 2 other males. In exchange for cash, the officer gave him he gave the officer a small brown envelope containing crack. So he got crack there. At 9:35, uniformed officers who were working with him arrested Dillon and the 2 guys. While they were frisking him, all of them, they discovered 3 additional rocks of 3 additional cocaine rocks here in his underwear. Yeah. So he stuffed them down his pants too.
They really were thorough.
So he was he was smoking some crack. Or he was selling some crack here on the street at a young age. That's young. But usually when people sell crack when they're 14. Yeah. It's usually not like they're not like, you know what I'm going to do.
They didn't have the idea.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
they were influenced for sure.
There's a reason. There's some sort of reason. Kids that are comfortable generally don't sell crack at 14 on the street to undercover officers. Number one. And number two, there's a like you said, there's something here. Like not their idea, probably. I'm going to say, like, go out on a limb here.
He wasn't playing video games and turned on TV and saw that there's a crack epidemic and was like, "How do I get involved?"
You know what? Yeah, saw it like it was like Microsoft was starting to take off in the 90s. Like he's like, look at this. So Facebook's going public, eh? Like that wasn't a thing.
Wozniak's building them out of his garage.
At 14, I can help. I can do this. He is in Seattle. He knew everything. He was in on everything. So, when a guy's selling crack on the street to undercover officers at 14, I gotta kind of give him the benefit of the doubt there. If something is wrong and he's 14 and, he shouldn't even be outside at 9:30 at night downtown at 14.
He certainly shouldn't be hanging out with anybody that tells him what that shit is yet.
That's what I mean. He shouldn't, A, know what crack is enough to sell it, and B, he shouldn't be outside at that time, and C, obviously selling crack to anyone.
Even if he knows what it is.
Officers.
You're going
to know.
That time, everybody knew what the fuck it was.
Yeah, everybody did, yeah.
But to know the value of the weight is fucking crazy.
That's
crazy.
It's a little much. It's a little much. And to have it broken down and in your underwear.
Jolene, get a handle on
there's somebody needs to get a handle. Or the older brothers, too. Christ.
Or Papa Chuck or whatever
crack some skulls here. So, January 11th, 1990, he's arrested again here. So, I mean, he's a pretty good childhood of arrests. This incident here, he apparently was chasing a man and with a large stick. Corey had a large stick chasing a man down the street, swinging it at him, threatening, saying he was going to kill him with the stick, trying to beat this man with a giant stick while he ran around in the street away from him there. And apparently that's when the police arrived. And at that point, it said that he was charged with a substantial risk of death or physical injury, creating one to the man he was chasing, swinging a stick in the street. And also, they said that he obstructed the police officer and resisting arrest as well because he ran away.
Yeah.
That wasn't a violent or resist. It was I probably dropped the stick and ran away when the cop got there. And then they charged him with resisting for running away. So, but he was chasing a man in the street with a stick,
making threats of murder.
Really actively trying to hit him with it. Apparently, like it was a real situation. Apparently, Corey was fucking going a little off on him here
as a child.
Oh yeah, he's not even 16 yet. He's 15 years old.
This man played in the NFL.
Oh yeah. Well, they didn't give him any sticks in the NFL though. Unfortunately, he would have been a Hall of Famer if he had a stick. I think that's the difference. If he could have carried the ball with one hand and swung a big stick in front of him with the other, I feel like he's unstoppable at that point.
I'll kill you, motherfucker.
I'll kill you, motherfucker. Holy shit, no one's tackling him. So January 19th, 1990, this is a week later, he's in court for the drug charges from the year before. So a week before he has court for the one thing, he has the stick incident as well. So he's busy. He's a busy young man.
Yeah.
In addition to this, he's also playing sports and shit. So it's very busy. So this is court for the drug charges. He was ordered by the court to serve 10 days detention, undergo 9 months of state supervision, perform 40 hours of community service. I assume picking things up with one of those sticks.
Right.
You're good with a stick, young man. And having no use or possession of drugs or alcohol, which, I mean, he's 15. He shouldn't anyway. So that's fine. That goes without saying.
Should be a very easy sentence to complete.
And it goes without saying. Yeah. You're not allowed to drink anyway. You're 15. So he was a juvenile, so that made him, whatever. That was why he's got sentenced to so little. Apparently, as those same charges as an adult would have carried 22 to 27 months in state prison.
Wow.
So, they gave him a break because which they should. He's a kid.
Right.
He's, clearly he is a child. So
you can still correct this behavior, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, and he does end up in the NFL.
Right.
So, I mean, Christ almighty, for him, it went as good as it could have, right? I would think. But
given the right circumstances, it's pretty, a deterrent for that shouldn't be so difficult.
Yeah,
for that kind of life.
Yeah,
from this shit.
Don't sell crack and beat people with sticks.
Should be fairly easy to turn a 14-year-old away from that life.
Just something about beating people with sticks in the street. I feel like if you're going to someone to reason with them, and you're like, listen, I mean, you can't beat people with sticks in the street, right? They'd go, oh yeah, well, I mean, Jesus, that's got a point there.
A normal
person
would just
that.
be like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
but it sounds like Corey would be like, I can't.
Yeah. Well, even Corey might be like, so inside I should do it then, right? That way they can't get away and no one will see. Thanks, dude. Thank you. Good looking out. See, this is why I'm young.
Right.
I need people to guide me.
I need some help.
Get me better at this shit. So March 30th, 1990.
We all need somebody.
Jesus Christ. So March 30th, 1990 is the actual court for the obstructing of a police officer, and the state agrees to drop the charges against him for reckless endangerment and with the guilty plea and all that sort of shit. And like we said before.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from Law and Crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
So July 31st, 1990. He is having a busy year. He is arrested again. This apparently, I don't know what he was arrested for, but he's arrested for hindering an officer and resisting arrest. Okay. So I don't know what the fuck. That could literally be anything. Mm-hmm. Like, that could be the way cops fuck with kids on the street. Yeah. That could be what you call a humble, basically, where they just took you in because you were, quote, eye fucking them while they were trying to fucking talk to you or some shit like that. That's some shit like that's what cops say to fucking kids when they're looking at them while they're talking to them. You eye fucking me? Are you talking to me? Yeah, I guess I am. I don't know. What do you want from me? So, yeah, that could be
behind your back.
Yeah, that could be anything. And then they could have said, okay, well, we're going to take you in on this. And he could have said, fuck that, and tried to run away or something. So we don't know. He's still a child here. But he is arrested for that. Now, November, he's in court there, and he's convicted of obstructing a police officer and resisting arrest. Okay. And doesn't really get anything for it. Probation.
Really got him.
They don't like to be eye fucked.
You know,
so
it is shocking.
Calm down
that this man, this child, has gone from this to get into high school and be impressive enough to go to college.
Yeah, no,
it's unbelievable.
Well, that's the thing about Corey that you have to admire is this dude, like, yes, he does, and we're going to talk about it. He's got some silver-haired people out there pulling for him, but at the same time, he also has to put in a certain amount of work to get where he needs to go. And the way his story unfolds, he could have very easily given up, and nobody would have blamed him. Really? And he persisted, and there's something to that where you have to admire somebody's persistence and you have to admire somebody's perseverance, even if they're a fuck up. Like, it doesn't matter. He accomplishes things that are difficult to do based on a lot of personal will and desire. So I have to give him a lot of credit, like against odds even. He's got a coach here named Al Roberts, and this man will be silver for Corey So that's like the old coach's way of like horny for someone. They're silver for him, man. He's super silver for you, Chief. He's silver for Corey from a young age and right up until the NFL. Like, you'll see. I don't know if he follows Corey or Corey follows him or he gets hired because he knows Corey and whatever it is, but he ends up where Corey is a lot. We'll find out here. And now Roberts here, he's from Seattle, Al Roberts. He's a coach, and he's the running backs coach later on at the University of Washington. He'll also be at a smaller school that Corey played for. But basically, his son played against Corey in high school. And he says, Roberts, quote, I assumed the role of a surrogate father to Corey at Washington later on at college. I took him under my wing. Corey came in nice and soft, and he took me on as a dear friend and father figure. And he needed help, and I needed to help him. So that's what he says.
He needed help, and I needed money.
He needed help, and I needed someone very talented to latch myself onto to fucking climb up the rankings.
He needed help, and I needed a pool.
Yeah, I really needed to not be a running backs coach for a fucking...
for a high school.
For a non-top 20 program. That's what I need. That's what I'm talking about here. I need to be in the NFL. So June 8th, 1992. This is very interesting. He is going to be later on indicted for second-degree malicious mischief on this one. Now, Michelle Reed, who's his former girlfriend at the time, as a 17-year-old here, she reported to police on June 8th, 1992, that Corey confronted her and some friends. Apparently, she drove to an AM/PM gas station to fill up her tank. It was just after midnight, and apparently Corey didn't like that for some reason.
You bitch.
According to this, how dare you? What are you using, regular unleaded? You cheap bitch. At least put the mid-grade in. The thing's going to run choppy. What the fuck?
AM gas. Couldn't you find a Chevron?
Man.
Jesus.
Bring me a couple of those burgers, though. They're gross, but I want to eat them.
Ping.
Yeah, oh my God. So according to what she said, Dillon came up to her car and began berating her and her girlfriends who were in the car. I don't know if it was their gas choice or what it was, but he was not having any of it.
Eating a roller grill, that you pig.
Repeatedly, this might give insight, repeatedly referring to them all as, quote, bitches in the police report. All you bitches, and you're a bitch, and all you bitches. So
nailed it right out.
He was throwing bitch around a lot, apparently. He started an argument with her, presumably by calling her and her friends bitches, I would assume.
And they said, no, we're not.
It's weird. If your girlfriend, wife, whoever, if they're in anywhere really hanging out, and you come up and you start yelling at them, calling them all bitches, you're going to have an argument usually, I would say, with at least one of them, especially your girlfriend.
Yeah.
So, not a wise decision. Gentlemen, I didn't know if you needed that advice, but if you did, you really need it. So
it's
enjoy.
Solid advice, I promise.
It's solid. Never do it. So then she called him a bitch back.
What?
So she said, I'm not a bitch, you're a bitch.
Yeah.
So
a man bitch? Way worse than a woman bitch.
He not okay with this.
No.
He apparently ripped the driver's side door open here and started threatening her. And he said, quote, what, challenging her. And she said, quote, I didn't ever say anything. And he said, yeah, that's what I thought. So he basically got all up in her business in the doorway. You say that shit again, like a guy in a nightclub would say to another guy.
Right.
Fuck you say to me? Well, fuck, I didn't say nothing. That's right, motherfucker. No. You don't treat your teenage girlfriend like that. What are you doing? Well, any age, but especially not then. So
it's the same argument before every UFC fight.
It's what it is. That's what except I don't think she's going to challenge. I don't think she's up for the title.
No.
That's the difference. So then he closed the door, and while they were still in the car, he, quote, vandalized it.
Okay.
I don't know. They were in the car while he was doing shit to the outside of the car,
punching and kicking.
Probably terrifying to these girls, I would assume. More than $700 damage was done before Corey stopped and threatened to throw a large rock through the windshield. So that's how that happened.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so he's arrested for that, obviously. She went to the police that night, filled out a police report. All of her friends filled out a police report. Because, he did this not only at the AM, PM, with surveillance cameras and everything, but in front of multiple witnesses that were also in the car terrified. So probably not the smartest way to go about this thing. Now, this charge in September is ultimately reduced to third-degree felony malicious mischief, and he is sentenced to perform community service, undergo counseling, attend anger management classes, and pay restitution to his ex-girlfriend's mother, who owns the car, for fixing it. So basically, a slap on the wrist, don't do that again. You're a bad guy. So
in terms of danger to society and people, his crimes are certainly escalating.
That's the thing. It started out with, it's
drug sales, whatever. That's not
theft,
violent.
Drug sales. Like I said, I don't know what your financial situation is and whatever, and you're 14. I'm not going to get into anybody's shit for drugs at all. But for
chasing a man with a stick,
you don't know what that man did.
Maybe he owes him money.
Might owe, or the guy, who knows? Maybe he was defending somebody else. I'll even give you the stick. I'll give you that.
Maybe he caught him raping a child and he chased him.
That's what I'm saying.
You never know.
He could have said, get your dick out of that infant, and then fucking chased him with the stick.
And got arrested.
At that point, you know what, Corey? Good for you. You're in the right. So I'm going to give him the stick even. I'll give him the stick. I'll give him the resisting arrest because the cops say that shit a lot of times so they can charge somebody with something if they don't fucking like him. So you know what? Fine. Yeah. Especially if they know Corey and know he's a neighborhood fucking knucklehead.
We can sweep it.
I'm giving you all those, Corey. I'm giving them to you. I really am. Clean record.
Yeah.
Not this.
No.
You can't go up to your girlfriend, all her friends start calling them bitches, threaten them physically, and then vandalize their car while they're inside like it's some sort of demented car detailing service. No, you stay in the car. I got it. I'll wax it out here.
I'm buffing this dent out with my shoe.
Yeah, see, bang, bang. Come out the other side. So, through all this, we're this far into it. We've really not mentioned football at all, or sports or anything. It's just been 40 minutes of juvenile crime.
And he's definitely a bad bad guy already.
It's not going well for him. But in football, he goes to 2 different high schools. Later years, I think junior, senior year, he goes to Franklin High School, which a lot of people went to Franklin, including baseball Hall of Famer Ron Santo.
No kidding.
For the Cubs there, and Kenny G.
What?
The
weird...
Yeah, Kenny G.
What is that? It's saxophone.
Tenor sax, or
it's a weird saxophone,
alto,
right?
or tenor. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
I don't know. One of them's a regular sax, and then he's got the weird.
He's got the artsy fartsy
clarinetti sax, whatever the fuck that is.
Curly shit at the top.
Yeah, it's a little fluty sax. Yeah. It's a weird looking thing.
It's not a Bill Clinton one.
No, it's not. It's not like a. Yeah, there's never been like a. Maybe, I don't know, but it's
he
not,
might be the best person.
It's not like a rockin', like a jazz.
Right. He's not
that shit. No,
he might be the best one that plays it because fucking nobody else plays.
Nobody else plays because it just goes. Right. And no one else really cares about that. He said, "That's all I'm going to do.
Right.
I'm going to corner the market. No one's doing this. No one." Right. And they were like, "That's true. I guess. Sure. I mean, record it if you want to. I guess.
Grow your hair really long.
You should do that. It's curly. You look like a Muppet. It's fine. So just." Yeah, that's fine. Do that.
Crush it.
Put a suit on. Right. There you go.
Anything, any instrument.
Yeah, gray and baggy. Right. Don't let it fit.
Go nuts.
Yeah.
Any instrument that makes your nose look smaller.
That would work. You can do that. You can hide it behind it.
Right.
Make sure to go up with it at the angle so they don't see anything. So, they all went to Franklin as well. This is where, I don't know how he has time to play 2 sports and be fucking up this much, but he does. He's, like I said, playing football, playing baseball also, playing center field. He's got good pop in his bat. He makes the all-Metro team in baseball, as a matter of fact. So good in baseball he is that in 1993, in the 1993 Major League Baseball draft, he is drafted by the San Diego Padres in the 34th round. So that's how good of a baseball player he is. That's a high round, but you're still a goddamn... That just shows that they're like, wow, what an athlete that guy is. If we can get him to concentrate on baseball, he might be something. Mm-hmm. So they draft a lot of the 2-sport guys lower because they don't know what they're going to do. They don't know whether they're going to go to college and play football or they're going to... sign and play baseball.
Right.
So he does not sign for baseball, though. It's 34th round. You're not getting any money or anything. No. You're basically getting on a bus to a small town.
And you're going to go play AAA for a while.
Enjoy. Right. And you're at the bottom of the list, and you'd have to really be a superstar for anybody to notice you.
Right.
So, the problem is also, though, out of high school, he's great at football, but he does not meet the NCAA minimum academic requirements. Mm-hmm. And also, he's been arrested a shitload. So
he's I don't know. I mean, proven dummy in terms of school. And proven dummy in terms of arrest record.
In terms of doing things. So they're like, if you're a college, you're looking at him going, talent, yes. Yeah. But doesn't have the grades, A, to legally play here, and fucking B, he might be arrested at any point. He could chase somebody with a stick. We don't know.
Pretty useless stuff. He chased people with a stick, and we're going to put a heavy one in his hands? What are we, nuts?
No, let's leave the stick at home. So a lot of times, though, guys like this will happen a lot. Guys like this will have to go in through like a junior college program and prove that they're not a knucklehead for a couple years. Look at me. I can not get arrested and still play really well and pass all my classes or do whatever. So then they can go to that way, then an athletic director at a college can justify bringing him in case something happens. Right. No one will blame it on them and go, well, he went to the junior college and was fine for 2 years. It's not my fault, God forbid. So anyway, he was scaring colleges off, basically. He ended up looking for a community college. He wanted to improve his grades and try to get his reputation better. Say, hey, look at me, I went to community college and got good grades now. Look at me, I'm a citizen. Right. You can have me here. So he started at Edmonds Community College, which was a 90-minute bus ride from Seattle. Okay. I don't know why he picked that college, but after 6 weeks, he quit. Yeah. He got tired of going on a bus for an hour and a half each direction.
That's horrible.
That sucks. Do that at 6 a.m. That sucks. So he quit, and basically he did nothing job-wise for about a year. Yeah. He hung around after high school. This is Dennis Rodman style, like just having had no college, no anything, just hanging around. In football, you never hear about this.
It's very rare.
Football, they got to be like in the program. Basketball you can, but not football. So he does nothing. Eventually, Jerlene convinces him to get a job as a night janitor.
Same
as Dennis Rodman. Yeah, because that's some entry level. Yeah. You don't need experience.
And if you kick ass at it.
Clean the toilet. Anybody clean the toilet at 3 a.m. isn't something you can really fuck up that bad, So anybody you don't need a big resume for that. No one's like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I see you were CFO of Dial Corp, but I'm not sure if you can get our shitter clean at 3 a.m. when no one's here.
How much scrubbing bubbles do you possess, sir?
Yeah. So he hates that fucking job.
Of course he does.
Obviously. So what else does he do during that year that he's out? Well, he gets arrested a couple of times.
God damn.
Yeah, he's not done with that shit yet. So he's trying to mind you, this is the year to clean up his reputation so he can maybe get into college, which isn't happening. May 21st, 1994, here, at about 1 a.m., Seattle police receive a call from Pier 57, which is a tourist spot on the waterfront here. And the manager down there requested help controlling, basically there was a party that had more visitors than the restaurant could hold.
Okay.
And they called the cops to try to, basically, hey, I'm over fire code. Can you help me clear people out of here? So it was one of those things for crowd control here. It was the Multi-Greek Council from the University of Washington booked a party there.
Fucking frat party?
Yeah, it was a frat party and whatever from 10:30 to 1 or 10 o'clock p.m. to 1:30 a.m. So by 1 o'clock, though, it had overrun the place. So the door counters stopped counting at 432 people, and the guy estimated to the police there was about 600 people there, which was way outside safety regulations. So what happens is the police start moving these fucking crowds out into the street. They're getting hundreds of people at the same time out of this restaurant. They're all shit hammered.
Of course.
So you're pushing 200 shit hammered people,
frat boys,
who are pissed off that they're getting kicked out of the party into the street at the same time, which is with the tourists, which is a fucking horrible idea.
So many assholes are going to come out right now.
Dude, they should have pushed them into the water on the other side. Swim for it. You're fine. Dude, honestly.
There's an island out there.
Frat boys, swim to the pier. You'll be out of energy by then, and then you won't fuck with anybody.
And wet.
You fucking idiots. Yeah, dipshits. So anyway, officers at this point, they witness an incident flare up on a sidewalk here, and what they deem a violent incident. This is in just plain view of 4 Seattle police officers standing there. Corey, who's about 6'2", about 210 pounds at this time, full of muscle, and an athlete.
Yeah.
They watch him punch a woman in the face.
Holy shit.
Just straight hauled off and socked her right in the grill.
Just jacked a woman.
In the middle of the street in front of multiple police officers. Popped this woman in the face. Apparently she falls to the ground,
right?
Because she got dropped.
A sack of potatoes.
And as she falls down, that's when the crowd gets pushed out. So then she's like trampled by frat boys at that point. So police come over to try to get her up off her feet because she just got punched in the face, which isn't funny at all. But for some reason, it's just this whole scene is crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Pow, flop. Right. Oh shit! Here comes drunks. Right. Get her up. Wait, hold on a minute.
Get her before the crowd does.
And then also, because someone grabbed the guy who just punched this woman in the face while we're doing this as well. So yeah, this is bad. So while the cops tried to help her, they tried to grab him, and he pushed his way through the people because now there's a giant sea of people going the opposite direction.
Yeah.
He's good at pushing his way through people because it's kind of what he does. He's a running back. It's kind of you go the opposite direction of people trying to tackle you this way. So that makes sense. But the fucked up part was, this is what's insane. Out of everybody that's pushing around, they can't get to Dillon because the crowd ends up being angry at the woman. The crowd being pushed out of the bar is angry at the woman who is semi-conscious trying to get to her feet because she's obstructing the crowd coming out. So they start yelling at her and throwing shit at her. She's been punched in the face on the street, and now there's a bunch of fucking asshole frat boys yelling and throwing shit at her when she's trying to regain consciousness.
And this bitch attracted the attention of the police.
And
how could you?
Ridiculous. Yeah, that's basically, it's fucking nuts.
Frat boys.
Fucking frat boys. So the crowd gets so hostile that the police have to form a human fucking circle around her to keep the people from from physically attacking her.
Unbelievable.
For being sitting there.
Wow.
Which makes, it makes no goddamn sense. So finally, 4 officers get to Corey Dillon, and they try to arrest him. He's resisting. He's got a bunch of people around him also, and there's a shitload of people in the streets. So what ends up happening is an officer tries to handcuff Dillon. He's hit by one of Corey's friends who's right there, and it's a big crowd, so it's a melee. So he's hit by one of his friends. The cop still tries to handcuff Corey, but then he's hit again by another friend. So Corey and the group end up basically fighting with the police and the crowd from the bar at the same time because they're pissed at Corey. Because there's 3 different sides all mad at each other, and they're all fucking fighting. And it's insanity. This
is a visual aspect of Twitter.
This is Twitter in real life on the street. Right. And there's a woman who got punched in the face for no reason.
She's bleeding.
And they're like, "You whore!" She's like, "What did I do? I was just standing there.
Virgin.
I didn't do anything. I just was standing there." And then there's like a fucking group of frat boys it's insanity. So
N-word being thrown around.
Yeah. People are fuck, man. It's a mess. So this is obviously a disaster. The police at this point said that they sensed that the scene was on the verge of being out of their control, which it was because they're vastly outnumbered.
Right.
And really at that point, I don't know. So they respond by spraying pepper spray at Corey and his group.
Right.
But not the other group, who was trying to attack a fucking woman. Why not spray that? Frat boys and everybody, fuck this. Spray everybody. What are you doing?
If it's not a woman bleeding or a cop, just spray them.
That would be the thing at that point with the 2 groups that are going to fight each other.
Right.
They're about to fight fuck that.
Knock them all down.
Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, the pepper spray subdues Corey's friends, but it only pissed Corey off.
Right.
Because he's a tough motherfucker. Obviously. So anyway, 4 officers tried to pin him down. He got away. 4 officers and pepper spray. He gets out of that. That's how strong he is.
Belichick's like, sign him.
He's like, he's going to win a Super Bowl for me someday. He's going to set the franchise record for rushing yards in a season someday. I see it.
Sign him.
Amazingly, it ended up being 6 police officers to restrain him and apply the handcuffs and get him in the back of the car.
Unbelievable.
For reckless endangerment with the woman and resisting arrest there. So, it seems like he could have got charged with a lot more assault for punching a woman in the face. Should be. Yeah, that's all of that was crazy. But let's get back to the thing where he punched a woman in the face in the street. Like, all the other stuff, you know how things can get out of hand and things are said and an object is thrown and fucking, whatever. Cops are oversensitive about shit and everything, but
you can make an excuse for anything, but
not punching a woman square in the face in the middle of the street.
And there are qualifiers to that. I'm sure if a woman had a gun on me and she turned for a second, I might drill her.
Go ahead and drill her.
I might drill her right in the mouth.
I think you're justified at that point. Probably justified. But
if I'm 6'2" and play sports and she's a little woman and she called me a bitch, I might just go, sure, I'm a bitch.
All right, whatever. Walk away, whatever. Have fun by yourself. Whatever, I'll leave you here. I'm your ride, haha, or whatever the fuck, I don't know.
Call it whatever an Uber is in 1980s.
Uber. Call a yellow cab.
Right.
Ha.
That's the luck.
All right. But don't punch her.
No.
So Coach Roberts here talks about him, describes him. This is a silver-haired middle-aged white man. He describes him through this period. He says, quote, he used to have a chip on his shoulder toward authority.
Yeah.
I would say probably. Corey walked around with that chip when he was younger. And did he like to fight? Yeah. He's a big, strong kid. Somebody would start a fight and Corey would finish it. And when people asked who did it, people would say Corey Dillon. Because when you're talking about hoods, you're going to see Corey. He's a massive man and walks with pride. Look at what he did on the field in his first year with the Bengals. Imagine him walking around the hood doing this. Okay. Yeah, I don't like the word hood. I don't like it from him.
No.
Imagine him walking around the hood doing this. Right. Just beating people with sticks. It's amazing. I saw him and I was like, if I could get that aggression, just that raw, I
need the hood for my team.
I need more hood on my team. I need more hood. Get him in here. He's dorky Vince McMahon. Come on. Get him in here. Get that shirt off. Let's go. Come on. Look at the vascularity. He's going to be great. Right in the hood.
The describing white people is way worse.
When older white people use the word hood like that, I feel like they wear a hood.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
It's
not
a different hood,
it's
sir.
a different hood. So anyway,
Old people shouldn't say the hood.
No.
It sounds like them. Like,
imagine him walking around the hood doing this. Just sounds fucking.
Imagine it at a rally.
Oh my goodness! Jeez, Louise. Let me tell you. Like, what the fuck? So
I don't like the term "Geez Louise." It reminds me of my wife.
Oh God,
that's her name.
That's her mom's name. Even worse. Boy, I'll tell you.
It's a really offensive term.
Anyway, back to the hood.
Right.
So, also back to the hood for him, too. Corey, June 13th, 1994, arrested for theft.
God, Jesus.
Just please stop.
Yeah.
Please stop, Corey. Stop doing things.
Good Lord.
Just go home and stay there. I don't know what to tell you.
He's been arrested like 6 times.
Someone tell Corey there's a massive pandemic going on. Like, really, it's a bad one. Like, we're fucking plague level.
Right.
Corey, plague. Oh my God, stay inside.
Stay home.
Put this gas mask on and don't leave. Stay there. So, he's arrested for theft. This is later dismissed if he does one of those. It's if he doesn't get any trouble in the next year, it's dismissed, one of those deals. So that's what happens there in June. July 1994, he pleads guilty to assault and obstruction in the street melee with the woman getting punching in the face here. So obviously he's a hot property for college football.
Or jail.
Or jail. July is literally like they're doing like workouts on college football teams. He's pleading guilty to assaults and getting arrested for thefts. So a team has to have him.
Yeah.
It's a junior college team, the Garden City Community College in Kansas. Here, it's in Garden City, Kansas. They are the Garden City Bronkbusters is their name. But he goes there as a freshman, and he impresses his coach. His coach's name is Jeff Liker, and he's probably saying, holy shit, a real athlete.
Right.
I am in a community college in Kansas. This is amazing.
Does Jeff Liker coach for NCAA now? Like,
I'm not sure.
That name sounds
Leiker.
That sounds so familiar.
Check him out. But Corey's playing both ways even. He's playing running back and free safety. So he's a monster.
He's on the field all day.
Oh, yeah, because he's their best player by far. If he could kick, they'd throw him out there to do that.
Right.
Fuck it, please. But off the field, turned into a little bit of a handful. Coach said that he was skipping classes and got into a shitload of fights on campus and around campus. None of them were, police involvement because they're like, please don't arrest him.
Right.
I'm sure campus security, if they have a campus, was told, whatever happens to him, just contain it, please, because he runs for 1,165 yards and 16 touchdowns.
Holy shit.
So, for that team. So, they were probably like, look.
How many games did they play? 10?
Who knows?
Probably 10
Community
games.
college, maybe 10.
Wow.
I don't know. And he didn't even come in the first game. He came in like, he just jumped on the team and started kicking ass. So, he doesn't make it through a whole season, though, because by August of 1995, with all the fighting before the next season starts, he's kicked off the team by the coach because of all the fighting. He's fighting with teammates. He's getting in trouble off the field. He's just being a dick. However, though, the coach liked Corey.
Yeah.
He liked him. He had to, for visuals, they had to kick him off the team, but he liked him. So he called another coach buddy of his, a guy named, this is the Silver-Haired Middle-Aged White Man Network now.
Unbelievable.
It's now gone into this.
Yeah.
This is what I mean when we say that, like, athletes don't have the same experience as other people, and you can't lump them in because no one calls other people for young people who are just not, who can't run for 1,100 yards in a season.
The boss of the dog catcher in Kansas didn't call up to Texas and be like, listen, I got this Dennis Rader guy being a real pain in the dick to my community.
That's what I mean. Yeah. But
could you hire him, please?
He's the best dog catcher you're ever going to. He's amazing. On the field, the guy is a fucking. He's an animal. I'm not going to lie to you.
He'll chase down a German Shepherd like you've never seen.
Will ejaculate all over it. You have no idea. He has to murder it first. But once he murders it, he can give you.
Really gives it hell.
He can give you quite the load. It's. The volume is impressive, is what I'm getting at. If that's what you're looking for. I don't know if that's what you're looking for in a dog catcher.
I don't know what his water intake is, but I'm going to tell you the viscosity of this is incredible.
He eats a lot of pineapple, I can tell, just
real
from
sticky.
being near. It's wild.
The pungent aroma.
You can tell. It's like it's like a skunk weed, but with like a sugary like a citrus.
It's a quality stick. That's
good.
what I'm telling you.
It's good stuff.
If you run out of Elmer's glue in a pinch.
It'll work. So, my kids use nothing but his jizz. That's it. They use.
We've come to gross.
I just looked at you like I gave you a look like. Come on.
I can't believe I did that.
Come on, Jimmie.
We're filling the glue sticks, is what I'm telling you.
Keep it together.
Jam those in the freezer. In a pinch, it works.
Put them out in the sun, I think, is how it works. You want to harden it.
Harden it?
Yeah, otherwise.
I was thinking if you freeze it as it melts down, it sticks a little better.
Maybe,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say so. That's true. I figured the outer layer's harden, but then once you get inside.
You do one, I'll do the other. Tomorrow we'll come back.
Glue sticks. We'll let you know on Small Town Murder this week how that goes, okay? Tell you what, listen to Small Town Murder this week. We'll let you know how the great jizz stick experiment panned out. Good.
What's best, freeze it or cook it?
You never know. It's hot out, so I'm going to put I'll put mine out in the blacktop out in front of my house, and you put yours in the freezer, and then we'll test it on next week's show. It's going to be amazing.
Holy shit.
So, Liker over here,
yeah.
Jesus Christ, he calls Greg Croshaw, which is the head football coach at Dixie College in St. George, Utah. Okay, Croshaw was like, shit, yeah, sure, good running back, could fucking use him. Mm-hmm. So Corey this time, though, really puts in the effort. He plays at Dixie State College in St. George, Utah. He runs this season for it's junior college, 279 attempts, 1,899 yards, and 20 touchdowns. Absolutely fucking crushes
That's
it.
Insane.
So yeah, he is killing it. So he is chosen the Junior College Offensive Back of the Year by College Sports Magazine. So he's getting attention now. Now the major schools, he went for a year in a JC without fucking up, without getting arrested, passed his classes, whatever. I mean, however they did it, and ran for a shitload of yards. So now an athletic director can say, oh, look, they can do this without taking responsibility. Mm-hmm. So University of Washington, they go and get him, the Huskies. He goes to this school here, Coach Jim Lambright. This year, 1996, they're 9-3. They lose the Holiday Bowl against Colorado, 33-21. But in October of that year, he has the second best rushing game in school history. With 259 yards.
My word.
Corey is going to have through his whole career, he's going to have these big, giant games that he has where he breaks records all the time. If he gets off on one, he's going.
Yeah.
If he finds a weak spot in a defense, he'll exploit the shit out of it. So, yeah, that year, he plays in 11 games. He has 1,555 yards. Mm-hmm. Which is pretty goddamn good. I'm sorry, 1,695 yards.
Much
I say 1,695 and 24 touchdowns as well, which are both school records. Mm-hmm. So single season, all-time school records. Mm-hmm. So crushing it coming from junior college here. In one quarter against San Jose State, he rushed for 222 yards and caught an 83-yard touchdown pass in a quarter. In the first quarter.
Wow.
In the first quarter. Both setting NCAA records for rushing yards and all-purpose yards, 305 in one quarter.
That's insane.
In one fucking...
It still stands today,
in
right?
a quarter.
It's got to.
Probably. I think they won that game like 48-0 or some crazy shit. It was one of those stomping. San Jose State playing a decent team. So he, after his junior season, though, he announces that he's leaving the school to enter the draft. And at the same time, oh, by the way, guess who was at the University of Washington? Coach Al Roberts was there. Yeah, he was their running backs coach.
How about that?
Weird, right?
Wonder how he got that job.
That's strange. Yeah, I wonder. That's what I mean. Did one follow one or who followed who? So at that point, he'd been he wants to leave the team, and he wants to be he had coached in Philly, Houston, Phoenix, and New York, I guess, before in the NFL as an assistant coach, and he ends up accepting an offer from the Bengals to be their special teams coach, their Al Roberts, and because he had coached under Bruce Coslett when Coslett coached the Jets. Once he gets on staff, he starts trying to convince the Bengals to use their second-round pick on Corey Dillon.
Right.
He says, quote, I didn't think Corey would be available in the second round because he's a big-time running back. When our pick came up at 43, Mike Brown looked at me and I said, take him. He said, what do you think? I said, take him. We all discussed, we discussed all the other problems. I said, Mike, take him.
Mike, take him.
Mike,
keep your daughter away from
seriously.
him.
No, just keep him at arm's length of any women that you might have around you, and no sticks, and it should be good. So he said, and we took him. I didn't think Mike was going to do what he did. He just handed it over and said, Dillon, Washington. So that was that. And so they said they asked him all sorts of shit. And Dillon would say that, or Roberts, when they would ask him about shit, like, because he knew Corey. Yeah. So they were like, we hear he has a troubled past. He'd be like, nah, kid stuff, nothing. Because they would say, we heard he got busted selling crack. And he goes, that's a lie. He never sold crack. And I was like, well, he did actually, but... He would say it was juvenile offenses, and Corey also told the Seattle Times that he, quote, did not sell drugs ever. So
Corey,
he's got an image here.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah. So 97.
Who you bullshitting?
Who you
bro?
bullshitting, Corey? Just say, it was crazy. I sold drugs when I was 14 because I had a fucked up childhood, and look at what I've done since then. I've turned my life around.
I would have much more sympathy for that guy than the guy that lies about it.
But in the mid 90s, it was a big, bust these athletes. It was post OJ.
And it was too soon.
It was one of those things. So it was a different time. So anyway, this year, the 97 draft, we have Orlando Pace is the number 1 pick overall
for the Rams.
Yep, Hall of Fame left tackle there. Darryl Russell, second, who was a big time talent. He's died in a car accident.
Did he really?
Yeah, very young. I think under 30. I want to say Darryl Russell died. Yeah, Sean Springs, Peter Boulware, Walter Jones is another tackle who ends up in the Hall of Fame. Tony Gonzalez, the Hall of Fame tight end, is in this draft. A lot of shit in this draft too. Jim Druckenmiller, number 27 overall, is a young man. Very little known about him at this point. By the Carolina Panthers, named Ray Caruth.
No kidding.
Yeah, our episode number 1.
Out of Colorado.
Out of Colorado there. Yeah, Ray Caruth was drafted that year, as a matter of...
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer. I can really show you how to make some money. And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a microcity built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel. Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
Fact. Finally, though, number 40.
That son of a bitch could be listening to this.
Oh, he could be.
How crazy
right now.
Is that?
Hi, you're not invited.
No, never.
We mean you when we lumped in all those other people. We meant you too. You're a dick. What you did was bad.
Right.
So a lot of people in this draft. Jake Plummer, number 42 overall, right before Corey Dillon at number 43, and Sam Madison right after that. So some longtime NFL people in the second round here. Corey, number 43, second round. He's picked by the Bengals, like they said earlier. And I think Jason Taylor went like in the third round that year. He was the steal of the draft, third-round Hall of Famer, I believe.
For the Dolphins? That Jason Williams?
Yeah,
Really?
that Jason Williams. Tall defensive end Jason Williams.
Great player.
So the Bengals here, here's Al Roberts talking about Corey once he's drafted. They said, quote, how would you describe Dillon's juvenile record? His response is, quote, Corey is a follower. As a kid, he was always with the guys, but never did it himself. He would be there and around it, but he wouldn't do it. All the little distinctive things that Corey was supposed to have done, I'm sure he was in the area. Did he actually put his hands in it? I'm going to say no. Was he around it? Yes. Okay, Al.
He punched a woman in the face,
and then he took a comb out and just combed his silver hair straight back and he goes, is it looking good?
Unbelievable.
Yeah. He said, quote, and Jim's report was that there was some early childhood things, but all the other people hadn't had any hassles with him. So Jim was more than willing to draft him. His exact words were, he's the real deal physically and we should take a chance on him. The kid was an okay kid, and it's not taking that big of a chance because the kid hadn't gotten in any trouble lately. I mean, he had a little ruffles on the edge and he needed some smoothing out like all kids do, but he hadn't gotten any of that drug related stuff lately because that was bad pub at the time. Drug stuff with athletes was how dare they take drugs.
Early 90s, you punch a woman and we can bury that.
Drugs. Oh my God.
That's the worst.
He's like, the kids will want to do drugs. I mean, punch women, let the kids punch the women, but Jesus, drugs? We can't have that. There's fluff pieces here galore here.
Sure.
Oh man, his agent here was talking about, this was an article in the Seattle Times, that Dillon got into fights and mischief as a juvenile. That's what they said. Made it sound kind of...
Yeah, but they had to write nice things, too, because that's your second round pick who's a good running back, and the Bengals fucking stink.
And they did stink.
And they need players, and they need to talk up whoever that they draft, because otherwise, you got to give the fan base some fucking hope.
Something, yeah. It'd be like, he's kind of a shithead. One time he punched this woman right in the face in front of these cops and then had a standoff with him and got pepper sprayed, and it didn't matter, and 6 guys had to tackle him, but we think he's worked through all that.
How do you give
one's
a
gonna say that.
Bengals fan hope? Oh,
not
boy.
easily. So Roberts told the Cincinnati Post here, Silverman Roberts, he said, quote, he did not sell crack cocaine. That is poor information.
Okay.
Well, according to the police report and the court papers, he did, but who knows? So... He's
according to public record.
That can go either way. So, with his rookie contract, he does something very cool. He buys a house for his mom with his first contract.
Good. Charlene deserves it.
She deserves a house, absolutely. It's what she called her dream house in the Rainier Valley, just 2 blocks away from Lake Washington. To get her out of the city. Nice place here.
A lake house.
Yep. She said it was so perfect she could have drawn the plans herself, and that's what she would have drawn. It's just perfect. And she said that she gets to watch Corey on TV on the big screen television that Corey gave her. So that's what he's doing. So that's a nice thing to do. Now, 1997, he's on the Bengals, and they were fucking shit for a long time.
Boy, oh boy.
This is the era where their quarterbacks are Jeff Blake and Boomer Esiason. Boomer, and I believe this is post-Jets Boomer when he came back, if I'm not mistaken.
Really bad.
Did he leave? I can't remember. But either way, Boomer, by the way, I was looking through Audible the other day.
Yeah.
Boomer has a fucking true crime book out. Not a true crime, a crime fiction book about a football team. I swear to God. It's what we all want, like a dark...
clamoring.
I want a dark true crime. I want a dark crime thriller, but I really want one that was written by a slightly above average NFL quarterback who's been retired for a long time. That's what I really want. I've been looking for one, and finally... Now it's here.
Bashed in the head repeatedly and can barely spit out a coherent thought about football. Please tell me something that you don't know about.
And doesn't have a milligram of pigment in his entire body. Anywhere.
Hair or otherwise.
Anything. Just fucking...
Just transparency.
I don't know what happened, guys. Look at me. So, bad team.
Holy shit.
Bruce Coslitz, the coach.
Who convinced that fucking guy that we needed a book that didn't have anything to do with quarterbacking?
Well, it's a book about like a murder on a football team. So it's even worse. So it's cheesier. But I've heard Boomer talk.
Yes.
Listening to him speak and give like the narrative of a game, I've never said, man, I'd love to hear him. I'd love to know what he could do with like 300 pages. Just fucking let him loose.
Man, I need to hear anything else that he has to say.
Come on, Boomer. Let me hear
I don't
it.
want him to read me his grocery list.
No.
And it's on Audible, so he's reading the book to you.
I don't know if he's I can't remember if he's the narrator.
If it's him.
But I
might buy it just to laugh.
I almost bought it just to like fucking see how bad it was, but I'm like, I'm not wasting $11 on this to see how bad it is or whatever the fuck it costs.
It's $11 out of me?
It's got like a helmet on it, and it's it looks like a cowboy helmet
Is it
almost.
Boomer Esiason?
It's written by Boomer Esiason. It says written by Boomer Esiason. Written by NFL quarterback Boomer Esiason. All things ridiculous.
Real.
I am looking it up right here because this is goddamn crazy. I have Audible up right now.
Yeah.
Let's look up Discover.
That can't possibly be his real name, is it?
Boomer?
Boomer? That's not his. It fucking better not be. I'll be so mad if that's actually on a birth certificate and a driver's license.
How the fuck do you spell Esiason?
Esiason.
S-O-N?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's called Toss.
Get the fuck out
It's
of it.
not narrated by Boomer. He's very busy. It's called Toss. It's got like a cowboy's helmet.
Wow.
It's all true crimey looking.
How did he get away with that?
It's all because it's a New York Stars, he calls it. Yeah, like the old
Fucking
WFL team, which he even stole that. New York Stars, the rookie quarterback figures the world is his oyster. Reality sets in after meeting his football, quote, family. The all too benevolent owner, Papa Goldman, his daughter, the Stars director of communications, Dominique, who has a certain fondness for quarterbacks, and a frustrated head coach, a team full of malcontents and racial divisions, and a very shady director of player personnel. But all of his concerns become secondary when an ex-Stars quarterback is murdered. And Brody, he named himself Brody.
Yeah, he did.
Come on, Boomer. You know Brody's not a good name.
You fucking asshole.
Jesus Christ. Come on, man. And Brody finds himself hustling just to stay alive while confronting the scars of his own past.
Brody from the cornfields of the flyover states.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Jesus.
He got drafted because he was really good at throwing passes to the scarecrow.
He was awesome at it, and he'd run drills out there for hours.
I can't believe how much I hate Boomer.
This isn't over, by the way. Yeah. With a little luck, smarts, and help from a beautiful, aspiring actress. Come on, Boomer! No, Boomer wrote love scenes.
Absolutely.
There's a scene where he says he slips her thing off the shot. It's Boomer Esiason writing a soft love. Oh my
and
God.
his editor was like, Boomer, no.
He's like, I gotta. They need romance. This is one time he can't drop the ball. Someone seems intent on sabotaging the Stars, the New York Stars, and perhaps the future of the entire football league is at stake. Holy shit. Jesus, Jimmie. Retired gridiron great Boomer Esiason has delivered a sharp, edgy insider's look at the game and business of professional football.
I hope they roast him every day on NFL Sunday for this bullshit. When did that come out? Is it brand new?
It's fucking recent.
It's brand new.
No, 2010.
Wow.
This has been out for 10 years.
This fucking asshole 10 years ago slid this under the radar.
That's the audio book, so the regular book was probably 11 years old.
Fucking idiot.
So this idiot this year was playing for the Bengals, watching them go 7-9. Jesus Christ. Now, Corey, in one game, breaks Jim Brown's single-game rookie rushing record in a game with 246 yards in a victory against Tennessee. So that's Jim Brown. That's no joke there. If you're breaking one of Jim Brown's records, you're doing something pretty good.
Team that's disappointed every year.
Every fucking year. So this year, though, he has 1,129 yards rushing, which is pretty goddamn good, and 233 attempts. Not bad. 4.8 a carry is pretty fucking good.
Great.
That's damn fine. He's on the all-rookie team. He's a bad motherfucker. Just to give you an idea of the overview of the league at this time, this was the year the Broncos won the Super Bowl that year. Brett Favre is the MVP.
Wow.
AP MVPs are Brett Favre and Barry Sanders.
How about that?
So think about that. Rookie of the year, Warwick Dunn.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, Peter Bulware, the defensive rookie of the year. Defensive player of the year, Dana Stubblefield. passing leader. Give you one guess. You'll never get it.
The passing leader?
Leader in yards.
Was DeMarino?
No.
No?
Not that year.
Oh.
Jeff George.
Get the fuck out
For
of
the
here.
Raiders, 3,917 yards.
Wow.
And they were like 3-13.
Yeah.
But he threw a lot
He was airing it out.
He threw like 30 touchdown passes, too. And then Barry Sanders had over 2,000 yards receiving that year. Or rushing, not receiving. I was reading the
That'd be very
receiving
impressive.
100. Yeah. Wow. And he's a great running back.
Way
Amazing.
to go, Barry.
So, yeah, good year for him in 1997. All is forgotten. Everything's great. March 3rd, 1998.
Oh, no.
It's about 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, no.
This isn't good. Police say that he made three turns in a quick succession without signaling, once running over a curb, and clocked him going 35 and a 25.
Oh, boy.
Ooh, they're out looking for drunks at 1 in the morning here.
This is one.
They said they made observations and made a stop, and, quote, based on their observations, they made an arrest. They say that he got out of the car. They smelled alcohol on his breath when he began talking. They said his eyes were bloodshot, speech slurred, the usual deal here. He refused to take a field sobriety test and refused to sign a release for a blood alcohol test at the precinct once they took him in.
So try these bracelets on.
Which is, that's an automatic suspended license and all that shit, too. One of the officers smelled alcohol and they said that his eyes were bloodshot, so they got him out. They said he was very, quote, very hostile and uncooperative. He was yelling and would not comply with our requests for information. Well, he doesn't have to be a nice guy, but he does have to comply, or else he's got to.
But he's also behaving, like a drunk.
Like a drunk would, unreasonable. That's what drunks do. He's booked into jail for investigation of DUI and first-degree negligent driving and third-degree driving with a suspended license.
Oh, no.
He's got a suspended license. Why don't anybody ever get their license fixed, man? You bought your mom a house, get your license fixed.
That's so much cheaper.
Fuck, man. He was released on $1,250 bond here. Now, this was back in Seattle, and so this doesn't look good for him, but he says that he was pissed off. He said that it wasn't his fault. He said he wasn't drinking at all, and that police did not give him sobriety tests on the scene like he wanted, and they said he refused. He also said that they searched his car without permission or a warrant while they arrested him, so at that point, his car is in custody. They still have to it doesn't matter. Right. They searched him, and he said, quote, I was harassed the whole 9 yards, which is a different statement from when he was a kid. Mm-hmm. Who knows? We don't know the fucking story there. You were probably drunk, and they were probably dicks. I'm going to go with a little from column A and a little from column B here. Like Occam's razor, like he was probably shit-faced, and at the same time, they're probably dicks.
They were probably mad that you were shit-faced, and were like, we could probably be dicks to this guy.
Yeah, but you don't have to be a dick to people if they're not a dick to you first. But you can fucking watch Live PD, and you can tell the cops that have
a chip, the power trip.
Yeah, they have a chip, and and it's almost a department to department thing when you watch. Not to obviously, Jesus, what's going on now? Now we're going to solve it, but it's the fucking truth, and it's when it's coming up. So I don't give a fuck. If you take it how you take it, go fuck yourself. I don't care because this is what it is.
It should not be political. No, that's fucking disgusting. That it is.
It's disgusting.
It's embarrassing.
And you know what? I don't even care if you take it that way. Go fuck yourself at this point because the world is the world. So. It's fucking silly. Yeah. Honestly, man, we see this shit all the time. And if you watch Live PD, which is just because, and I know that's on camera, so cops are going to act different, but when they're in the middle of things, they kind of do what they do. Anyway, if you watch this type of shit, you can see it's a department to department thing. Some departments seem to have an edict of you go out there and you are military controlling fucking Fallujah right now. Yeah. You go out there, you fucking patrol, you got your tactical shit on.
Right.
Overwhelming force, fucking 2 dogs, machine, fucking assault rifles, on the whole fucking thing, 10 cars
always
at once.
Hand on your weapon.
Always be ready to tase, before you even ask a question, get somebody completely whatever before you even say license and registration. That's some departments.
Have them frazzled.
Yeah, and then there's some departments where their goal seems to be, let's not take everybody to jail at every single opportunity. Let's see if we can maybe fucking not take somebody to jail, maybe help them not do this again if possible.
And if we can affect this person's life, this shit's on TV and maybe we'll affect somebody else.
That's what I mean. And you'll see like a couple guys where they'll have like, I remember this guy in Indiana, you could see like the certain guys you follow around, they have a certain style where they're trying to not be assholes and not be combative with people.
They're trying to be a fucking community service.
Well, like they're supposed, that seems to be the whole fucking point of what you're doing. So anyway, that you have a SWAT team.
Yeah.
That's what they're for. If you're a regular guy, fucking be regular guy. You don't have to be SWAT guy. If you want to be SWAT guy, go try out for fucking SWAT. You want to put the thing on and go blah, 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 and rush people, then do that.
Otherwise, doors open, go do it.
Otherwise, I'll tell you what, learn how to fucking talk to people because that helps a lot. Learn how to fucking talk to people. It really does. Yeah. You can see situations diffuse just by people fucking talking, and you can see situations escalate just by talking. Back to Live PD, we talked about that one situation that happened where they were cops were fucking with the one member of the family, and they were talking to him, and one of the kids in the family, some teenager said, go fuck you. So the kid tried to walk away. Rather than letting it fucking diffuse, the cop had to go over and slam the kid on the ground, which brought mom, grandpa, uncle. So then before you know it, there was 6 cop cars slamming the whole family around. Grandpa's on the fucking lawn. Ridiculous. It was fucking not necessary.
For no reason.
Not necessary. All it had to be was, hey, the cop could have said, hey, Jesus, what do you got that for? You kissed your mother with that mouth? Ha, and moved on. Didn't have to slam the kid on the ground.
Dad. Tell him that's how you're raising your kids.
And I get people say it's a hard job. And you know what? It is a hard job. And there's a lot of fucking hard jobs. There are. You know what also sucks? Coal mining. But you're not allowed to turn around to the guy next to you when he pisses you off and fucking whack him with your shovel. That's not allowed.
You
still
can't go grab his mom and pin her to the ground.
And it's arguably just as dangerous. You know what I mean? Obviously, the coal, nobody has it out for the coal miner and trying to snipe him off as he comes in, but it doesn't fucking matter. And we have a lot of cops that listen to the show. We do. Yeah. It happens. We have a ton.
My cousins in Colorado are cops.
Nobody in my family is a cop.
My uncle or my cousin was shot 2 years ago.
Well, mind your own business. That's our general. That's none of your business. What do you want to get involved?
Their dad, who married into our family, was a cop, and they followed in their dad's shoes, and that's beautiful.
That's fine.
They're good at what they do. Yeah. And there's so many of them that are good at what they do.
And it's fucked up when you talk to the ones who aren't assholes. Yeah. They're mad at the ones who are assholes.
Think about how mad you are. They are so much madder.
The only difference is they don't have to be part of that. Right. That's the thing. Yeah. And people will get fucking mad at this, but people say this shit all the time to everybody. You don't like it, quit. You don't like it, quit. Right. They say that to people who've worked their whole lives to get to something. They go, you don't like it, quit. Right. Well, I don't know. It's not like a doctor where you go, you don't like it, quit. Well, I don't know. I went to medical school and then residency, and I'm $300,000 in debt from all this shit.
It took me 15 years to get $300,000 in debt.
Just to pay back my student loans, I have to be a doctor, basically. You're not in that deep as a cop. So if you don't like it and you don't like people and you're not good at dealing with people, go do something else.
Please quit.
Please quit.
Yeah.
And I'm sure all the rest of the guys on the force would fucking say the same thing. And if they could turn you in and if they could say this shit without you fucking leaving them somewhere to be fucking ravaged and not backing them up, they would fucking say it. But because of some of your shitty fucking prison gang mentality, it doesn't get fucking done. And this sucks. And you know what? We're going to get a lot of people pissed off at us for saying this shit because this is not how we never intended for this shit. We never go here and we don't, but this is fucking life. And if you consider that political, that the fucking community police that you pay to protect your fucking neighborhood shouldn't treat you
like you're a piece of
like
shit.
You're already in prison all the time, then I don't know. Fuck you then. If you think that's not what is fucking wrong with you? Honestly, are you high? Are you fucking stoned? And if you are, that's amazing weed, but you should probably smoke a different strain because it's fucking your logic up. Let's just switch to a sativa.
Saying something like if you just cooperate and give your ID, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
That's the problem. If I didn't, I shouldn't have to.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of
America.
There's a lot of shit, man.
Fuck off.
And fuck, man. Jesus Christ.
Like a monster?
So that's that. I don't know how the fuck we even got on. That was Corey Dillon said he got harassed by the police.
No, he probably did, but
which he probably did, and he probably also deserved it. And that's the other thing, too, I want to say. Guy like Corey Dillon right now, 1998, is not getting the same treatment that you or I are getting.
Never.
Or that someone on the street's getting, or your average 23-year-old black dude out there on the street at 1 o'clock in the morning.
No.
Corey Dillon, and this is how cops fucking operate. If a cop pulls over a fancy fucking car, say $100,000 car at 1 o'clock in the fucking morning, and they roll down that fucking window, and it's a young, under 25 black guy in the car, they're going to run those fucking plates, run that registration.
Make sure it's yours.
Right away, they're going to go, because if he's got any kind of jewelry or anything, they're going to go, I bet he's a fucking drug dealer. I bet this is in his aunt's name or some girlfriend.
Right.
That's their first fucking thought, whether they think it or not. They don't think, big muscular athlete. And it's not. It's part racial and it's part big muscular guy doesn't look like he's been fucking, running the stock market. You know what I'm saying? Like he looks like he's somebody, like an athlete. So then they see that, he owns the car. It's his car. They must be important. That guy must have a platform. Right. He must have notoriety. He must have shit. So I can't fuck with him quite as much as I would somebody else.
I'll just arrest him for what I have on him and we'll move forward tomorrow.
That's it. And we'll look like, we showed great restraint and he's a monster. And that's how whereas if this was somebody who had no platform, who couldn't release a statement through his agent the next day, who knows what would have fucking happened.
Or if it's Suge Knight and the car's in his mom's name, that could go bad too.
Yeah, that's the other thing. And a lot of people are fucking assholes when cops are trying to be nice, because I see that
all the time.
You have to put that in there, because like on live PD, you'll see that all the time, where the cop is trying their best
so hard
to not do, and the people just want to fucking escalate it for whatever reason. Their personal thing at that time, they need to have this confrontation, and they fucking force it. That happens too a lot. My old apartment, I remember sitting out on the balcony, and there was this drunk asshole kid out there, and this fucking cop came by. There was two cops, and one of them, his name, what the fuck was his name? I don't even remember his name, but he kept repeatedly saying this kid's name. The kid went to get away from him. He hopped in his own car in the driver's seat, which is an automatic. He had his keys, automatic DUI, right? So the cop goes, and he's saying over and over, listen to me. Get out of the car. Go inside. I'm not going to arrest you.
Right.
He goes, I have about 4 things to arrest you for right now, and I'm not going to arrest you. He goes, I'm going to let you go inside and sleep this off, please. He goes, your door is 20 feet away from here, or my car is right there. It's a way longer trip to jail, or you can be in bed in 20 minutes. Please stop. And the guy was going, fuck you, you fucking pig, all drunk. And the cop would be like, because he knew the guy was so drunk, and he goes, listen. Listen. And he kept saying his name over and over. I can't remember what it was, but just over and over. Jimmie. And he was saying it like, Jimmie.
Changing inflection.
Jimmie. And he was just this drunk fucking Mexican dude. And he just eventually, the guy fucking went in his house. But I mean, it got cops standing out there for 20 minutes. And, a lot of cops would have pulled that guy out and beat the shit out of him in the road, because I was to the point where I was going, I'm going to come down and beat the shit out of this guy if you don't fucking pull him out of the car, because I'm annoyed.
That's either patience and restraint or an officer that just does not want to ever have interaction with this guy again.
Yeah.
I don't even want to see your face.
I feel like
in
he's like at the end of his shift, and he's like, I'm not doing paperwork for you.
I just want to go home.
I'm not doing it for you. I'm not going to sit there with you for fucking 2 hours waiting for I'm not doing it.
Well, they take pictures of you and
not doing it.
Fingerprint. No.
Nope.
Go the fuck to bed.
Go inside, dummy. So
I like the cops that are clearly trying to be funny on that show.
I do too. I enjoy that.
That's the best part of the whole goddamn experience.
If all the cops were like that, people would have a way different view of everything.
We would love them.
Everybody would like them if they were like, hey, look. But not everybody is open to humor. And that's what's funny, too, is when they get more humor out of it sometimes, which is good.
And some of them deal with it so much that it loses its funny. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
it's like hearing the same joke over and over again. You can't keep laughing.
So, elbow,
eventually
thanks.
You just gotta
great.
fucking cuff them up.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'd get. That's what I'd end up if I was a cop. That's what I would end up getting in trouble for, is beating people for telling bad jokes to me.
I don't know how a woman cop doesn't just smack people over and over with their nightstick for "you gonna cuff me up, girl," or
some shit
I
like
like
that.
it rough, or some dirty shit.
I would just have a trail of broken-headed, like 65-year-old men behind me who telling me like grandpa jokes. Hey, did you see the blah 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 crack right over there? Oh, Jesus Christ! Why do you only beat up 60-year-old men in like Chrysler Seabrings? What is going on? Why do you do that?
They all got the same joke.
It's the same fucking joke, man. I can't take it anymore.
It's like they tweeted it to each other.
So, Jesus. June 3rd, 1998, Corey Dillon is in court. He's pleading guilty to negligent driving and is sentenced to, you, sir, may fuck off, 90 days in jail with 89 dismissed. So 1 day in jail. He gets there. And he's also placed on probation for 2 years in order to attend a drunk driving victims panel. So there's that.
That's so sweet of them.
That's nice. Not a sweetheart deal there. 1998 Bengals. They're 3-13. Jesus Christ, they suck.
I'd think too.
Corey had 1,130 yards. He had 1,129 the year before, so pretty goddamn consistent there. 4.3 yards a carry. Not bad. 99 Bengals, 4-12. They suck again. He's got 1,200 yards rushing this year, so 4.6 a carry. Corey is one of, I think it's 11 running backs in history to have 1,000 yards each of their first 3 seasons.
No shit.
So yeah, he's in company. He's really a goddamn good fucking running back. That's the thing. He's nasty, man. I mean, there's no doubt about that. In 99, he makes the Pro Bowl as well.
No kidding.
So now the league recognizes him a little bit too. It was tough to get in before that because you had your Barry Sanders, you had some ingrained running backs there. So, although it's different. AFC, NFC, but still. Yeah, Terrell Davis. You had some ingrained guys. But 2000, his contract is up before the season. So they sign him to a 1-year deal worth $3 million for this year. He receives at least a $700,000 signing bonus and will get another $300,000 at midseason if he's still on the roster, which he obviously will be.
Great deal.
He also, at this point, gets married.
Oh, boy.
Fuck it. Time to get married, everybody. Let's do it. He marries a woman named Desiree Antoine, and he will be with her for a little while here, next 10 years or so, and they'll have 3 children.
Oh, boy.
So he's going to have 3 children, 2 girls and a boy. August 29th, 2000, about 1:30 p.m. This is outside of his home here at the 1300 block of Southwest 353rd Street. Oh, my. He apparently, they're in an argument, him and his wife, new wife. They get in an argument. They're driving in the car. She's driving. And apparently he punches her in the mouth while they're driving.
Sounds like him.
Sounds about right. This was on the way to their house. Apparently she does that. This is right in front of the house. She's bleeding from the mouth. They're in the
socked her hard enough to make her bleed.
While she's driving.
Unbelievable.
I'm driving. What are you fucking doing? I don't care if you're a man, a woman, or what. Don't punch the driver, ever. Jesus, what if you knocked her unconscious? Cough into a fucking tree and you're both dead. So she got out of the car after that and walked about a block to an address to a neighbor's house where she called the police, and then they ended up pulling up, and there's both of them sitting outside the car, her with her mouth bleeding.
Post fight,
not good.
No,
not good here at all. So he's arrested on investigation of 4th-degree assault. He posts $1,000 bail and is released that evening. So he could face as much as a year in prison at that point. He misses a practice for the Bengals and did not tell his team about the arrest right away.
Really?
Because they were off on Saturday and Sunday, and he told the team he'd be returning. He just said he'd be returning late. He didn't say why.
He had some shit to do.
Bengals GM Mike Brown said he had called and his agent had called, but the information they relayed was not consistent with what I'm hearing. He didn't say he punched his wife in the mouth, so he's going to be late. Weird, right? So he said, I just heard the report about the arrest minutes ago. I have nothing to say concerning it until I know more about it. So who the fuck knows? I don't know. They're saying he hit his wife. That's not good. So obviously things could be going better for young Corey.
And that's as a boss, that is the worst fucking thing to do, is to not tell. You gotta fucking just tell them right away.
Especially if they're going to be hit with public scrutiny about
Being
it.
surprised by that kind of report is brutal.
So your star running back, what do you think about him bloodying his wife's mouth in the car? Huh?
He did what?
I didn't know. What was that? Even if you want to defend him, you can't, because you don't know. That sounds awful. I mean, that sounds terrible. I don't think we can.
Not pleasant.
He shouldn't do that.
I was just focused on the prices of our hot dogs at the moment.
That's against team policy, I'd like to say right now.
I'm not even going to look in the rule book, but I'm pretty sure that
it is. If he had done that on the field, I believe it's a 15-yarder right there. So we're going to go ahead and say it's not okay off the field either.
Probably ejection? That seems...
something.
Seems excessive.
So he's fucking confused with his life. He feels like he feels like, damn it, I've come a long way, and this is ridiculous, and everybody's coming after me, and it's bullshit. Yeah. And he's very upset about everything. He's upset. He's walking around. Yeah. He's not happy. Yeah. He's not happy at all. He gets this pleasant smell as he's walking. Yeah. And he's walking by, and he looks over. It's a garden. It's very pleasant. He goes, what is that? I don't even know what that is. And he asks the man tending, what is this garden? And the man looks up and he says, arugula, of course. And it's Adam Arugula Jones, arugula connoisseur himself. And he says, how is it you've come to arrive here? I'm sorry, but I asked you that because you, sir, your behavior's exemplary. Yeah. I'm just going to say that. This is ridiculous. The man in the street with the stick, clearly. I mean, I look at that, and that's obviously this man. There are bees, just terrible bees in that neighborhood. They're awful, and this man was being swarmed. And you're saying, well, help him, and you're whacking insects. They're flying off, and the police are saying like you're some kind of monster. Right. Who would do that in the streets? In the streets, mind you, never. Oh, I know more than that about you, Corey. Jesus, crack cocaine? No. Not at all. Not at all. You gave him a gift card to Starbucks, I heard. But I mean, geez, who doesn't get that?
And bee repellent.
Bee repellent. So this is for you, sir. I mean, as far as punching these women. Right. Now, let's be honest. Right. Let's be realistic here. You weren't vandalizing the car. No. Obviously, this vehicle, I feel as if she needed her windows squeegeed. And just because the squeegee's a little dirty, that is not your fault, sir. I mean, you clearly were trying to help the young lady.
Well, it was covered in bees, and he was kicking them off.
And as far as your wife goes, she was not positive of the direction. So you said, honey, left. And as you pointed, you accidentally got her in the mouth a little bit because you were excited. You were very excited. You said, honey, to the left. And then, oh, my goodness. And then I know how these things happen.
There was bees in her mouth.
Blowing things. There's bees everywhere. That's the thing. They don't understand the bees in this neighborhood. Poof. In a cloud of arugula and confusion, he's gone. And Corey is super confused. Who? What the fuck? Very confused.
Pac-Man Jones will play for the Bengals.
Hey, we're going to meet up someday. So in 2000, the Bengals are 4-12. They fucking suck.
Boy, were they bad for so long.
Jesus Christ, man. Bruce Coslett's finally fired. He's been their coach the whole time.
The fucking guy won 12 games in 4 years.
He finally gets fired after an 0-3 start, and they hire Dick LeBeau, who doesn't do much better. No. So October 22nd, 2000, though, I remember seeing this game, versus Denver, he breaks Walter Payton's single-season rushing game record with 278 yards. Wow. And he was fucking running all over people that day. That was in the dark times for the Broncos.
That was...
Elway retired, and it was over.
I think it was...
2000, not good.
Bobby Humphries?
Oh, Jesus. That was probably Bubby Brister at that point. Yeah,
that's who it was.
Bad stuff. Not good. But then Brian Greasy after that.
I think it was
ugly.
The two of them.
Yeah, Brister and Greasy.
Jesus.
That's a bad combination.
Fucking
Can you bring Neil O'Donnell in, too, for a minute?
I would not be surprised.
At the end of his career there for a year or something.
I feel like he was on, I think he was Elway's backup.
Was he?
No, Brister was
still
there.
On Pittsburgh.
Brister was there.
It was Bubby. Yeah. One of these Pittsburgh old.
Oh, boy.
Jesus.
Oh, what a sad fuck. I like to forget about those days.
You know, they're like bad times.
Days.
Yeah. Not going well. Not going well.
It's ugly.
It's ugly shit. So he has 1,435 yards this year and makes the Pro Bowl. So crushing it. Corey's having a goddamn 4 straight years of 1,000 yards, and his contract is up.
Oh.
But he doesn't want to stay with Cincinnati because he says the fucking team is losers.
Right.
He doesn't want to be there. He wants to win. During negotiations for his contract, he said in the press that he would, quote, rather flip burgers than keep playing for Cincinnati.
That is a fucking statement.
That's some shit. But in the offseason, they signed him to a mighty burger flipping deal, a 5-year, $26.1 million deal to keep him a Bengal. So he's like, well, you know what?
It's a lot of burgers.
They taught me how to this grill work that I'm very happy that I learned, so it's good enough.
They bought me a new spatula, and I will stick around.
I'm going to stick around. So, and you get some fluff with this. Yeah. This contract comes with a side of fluff.
That's
here.
Nice.
The Dillon hired a PR team. They're his agent. They hired a whole team, and they're working with him to polish his image. Okay. They have an article where it's him and his wife and their daughter playing in the background, and he's speaking on the phone saying everything's fine and peaceful and good. He says, quote, I'm just growing, learning a lot from trial and error. I'll be 27 this month. I'm getting old. I ain't got time for the nonsense no more. It's just a part of growing up and learning the do's and don'ts of being more peaceful with myself and the people around me. Okay, well, some people grow out of shit like that. Yeah, that's what it works.
I just punched her 6 months ago.
That's what I mean. It's like, it's kind of hard. I'm growing, learning not to punch my wife while she drives. Do's and don'ts.
This is very recent.
Probably should have known that before 27, I would say. I learned that a long time ago. Bengals president Mike Brown says that Corey, quote, really has worked at getting his life in order. He wants to do the right thing. He wants to be a successful player. He wants to be good off the field. He's been good with his family, regardless of what you may hear about things or his wife's mouth may feel about things while it bleeds. So, she said that she was, Jesus Christ, she's driving. They go over that whole thing. Dillon responded, by the way, his defense for hitting his wife was that he was defending himself by covering his face with his hands and somehow punched her in the mouth during that because she was beating him while she was driving, apparently, which is...
It's a bad woman.
That's a tough one. Yeah, she must be tough.
She is.
She's tough,
She's
man.
impressive.
Oh, boy, yeah. She said, well, let's do it in their own words here and find out how Corey feels about this, how he feels about the whole situation. I feel like we need to know. Let's do in their own words. Quote, I just really wish it never happened, but things happen. Things were done and stuff happened. Anytime you're involved in a situation like that, someone is going to take the heat, and I took the heat. At the end of the year, it will be off the record and a closed case. I thought everything was unfair, but life is unfair.
All right. Makes a lot of repeat statements there.
Because it's all bullshit. He goes, someone's got to take the heat. Things were done and stuff happened and moving on, and bygones are going to be bygones. And what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
We're not asking you why the offense didn't produce today. We're asking you why you punched a woman in the fucking mouth.
One in the hand's better than two in the bush, so I'm just saying he's going to have fucking cliches coming out of his ass.
Reading the fucking almanac?
Yeah, the cliche almanac. Here it is, everyone. So he then says, quote, who knows what I was doing when I was 13? I really didn't care. I was just growing up being a teenager like everybody else. I never had any problems at the University of Washington. I just think it's sad for someone to be so petty to go back to when someone was 15 years old and judge them instead of judging me as a 21-year-old man. I could never understand that. He said later on. He also says that he hasn't had a drink in 3 years.
What?
Didn't he just
that math doesn't work out.
Okay. And, quote, all the time, the way people had panned out, I could have been in jail or somewhere not even doing the things I love to do. Very true. He says that as a kid, he got to watch Walter Payton there, and he said, quote, I always got a chance to see Walter in action. Nice runner. I know why they called him Sweetness. He was light on his toes and he could do it all. He said, being a running back, you'd be a fool if you never watched Walter Payton and appreciated what Walter Payton did for the game. Very fucking true. Yeah. Walter's the man.
Yeah, but
he's the shit.
You just, I mean, as a comic, you can't just watch George Carlin and think, what a terrible guy, because he's just clearly the best. You're picking the best.
Yeah, you're picking Walter Payton.
It's hard to say anything bad about the guy.
Watch him. His game is perfect. Right. He blocks amazingly. He fucking he's so perfect. He catches the ball wonderfully. Great runner.
Graceful.
Tough, smooth. Right. Also plow people over. Stiff arm, drops the shoulder. Never missed a fucking game due to injuries. The toughest son of a bitch ever.
You picked the best guy, and you're like...
You picked probably the best football player in the history of the game.
And it was difficult for him to say nice things about him.
Yeah, he's like, he's a nice runner. I see what they mean about him.
Asshole.
It's like, no, he's probably maybe the greatest person to ever touch a football. Definitely top 3. So respect.
Unbelievable.
So 2001, they're 6-10. The Bengals. He has 1,315 yards. That's 5 straight seasons of fucking 1,000 yards. Not bad.
And they're getting better.
Sort of. Yeah. They still suck.
A couple more games.
You can do it. He makes the Pro Bowl again, and he publicly calls out the owner of the Bengals, telling that the press, quote, we will never win with the Brown family in Cincinnati. Wow. They own the team, which is awesome. Yeah. That's, I want the fuck out of here. Trade me. I thought it would be fine and good enough to be rich, but I've decided it's not. This sucks.
That's Fitzgerald calling the Bidwells shitbags.
That's what it was, which they deserve too. That's someone who went outside and went, Cincinnati, I smell sulfur and zoo. That's not good enough. I need to win if I'm going to stay here.
I smell the sulfur and zoo, or sulfur or zoo. Either one.
I like when they come together downtown to make it real. My hotel was like the culmination point last time we were there. Right
Neither
where they met
are pleasant.
And dance. They were waltzing in the street. So, 2002, he establishes the Corey Dillon Foundation to provide inner city youth with opportunities and resources to go the distance and achieve their goals. So that's good anyway, looking for public image. 2002, though, after he complained about the Bengals sucking, they go 2-14.
Oh, no.
Which is real bad. And they don't even fire Dick LeBeau during the season. They're like, he's good.
That man kept a job.
He's good. Well, think about it. They don't like to fire people because then you have to hire someone, you have to pay them.
Right.
Because if you fire a coach, you have to pay them for the rest of their deal. So the Browns are cheap as fuck. The Browns that own the team, not the Cleveland Browns, but they're cheap as fuck and they don't want to pay a coach they fire. So they'll keep a guy till his contract runs out. Marvin Lewis was a good coach at one point, but Marvin Lewis has been there for fucking almost 20 years now, or it's been there like over 15 years, 16 years or some shit.
It's not working out there either.
He doesn't want a goddamn thing. Now, it's not his fault. The Bengals are the Bengals, but they've had some good playoff runs and they still didn't win.
They've had some impressive wins too during the regular season that you'd think, holy shit, they figured it out. And then the next week, they are garbage.
Nobody can coach anywhere for 15 years unless they win a Super Bowl. If you win a Super Bowl, then you're golden and you can have a big buffer around you. But until then, What are you doing? Remember Schottenheimer got fired for going 14-2 with the Chargers. 14-2. And then lost a playoff game. They'll get him the fuck out of here. It's like, wow, he won 14 games.
That guy's good at this.
Holy shit. So 2002, though, Corey runs for 1,311 yards. So consistent. He's so fucking consistent. So that's 6 years of 1,000 yards rushing. 2003, the Bengals are 8-8. Holy shit, they're 500.
How about this?
Wow, under Coach Marvin Lewis when he came in. So he brought them to be, after that, they were going 12-4 and making the playoffs.
Right?
Not that year, no. But after that, they started being better. So this year, Corey, though, only rushes for 541 yards as they start platooning him because he's at this point considered old because he's 29.
Right.
Even though he's rushing for the same amount he was before, he's considered old, so they want to draft a guy to replace him already.
Right.
And I believe it was Rudy Johnson they drafted who split time with him that year. And Rudy Johnson was good, but different kind of back.
Yeah.
So
he went to the Jets, right?
I don't remember where he ended up. So April, I don't remember. Damn it.
He was so good.
He was good, Rudy. So April 20th, 2004, the Bengals trade Corey Dillon to the Patriots for a second-round pick.
Okay.
That's it. Second round pick. They just wanted to get rid of him.
He was a second round pick, so they got back what they got.
They got back what they put in. 2004 here, he said that his decision to want to be traded, because he was asking for a trade, was because of his frustrations with the team and the losing and all this sort of shit. And he said that he met with Marvin Lewis, who is a new coach. New coaches want to bring in their guys. They don't want to have anybody from the old losing. They want new running back, new everything. So he wanted to get rid of Corey. And he said that they couldn't see eye to eye, him and Marvin Lewis. And he says, quote, he shrugged his shoulders on me like there's nothing he could do. At that very moment, I said, I'm out of here. I'm done. So, Dillon had visits with the Raiders also, but after meeting with they saw his juvenile record. They said, we got to have him. We got to have him.
Tell me, what's your body count? How many women have you punched?
Never mind. Not good enough.
Not enough, sir.
There's more out there. He said, we'll find him.
Come back when you reach the big leagues.
Yeah, you're a minor league domestic abuser. This is weak. He said that after he met Belichick, he felt he could be the most successful in New England. He said, quote, the Patriots weren't even on my radar at the time. I went there and had a sit down with Bill and player personnel guy here, and it was pretty simple. He heard about some stuff that was going on in Cincinnati, and I told him all that stemmed from not winning games. My whole desire and passion was winning football games, so all that negativity and stuff down there was from not winning. He said he understood and asked me, do you think you could play for us? I said, absolutely, and that was the end of that. A few days later, I signed a contract, and I was a Patriot.
How about that?
He goes in there. I was fucking had an attitude. I was only a malcontent because they suck.
Right.
And they don't. Have you played them ever? They fucking suck. There's a reason you have like a 48-2 career record against them because they suck dick. They're awful. So he's called a reclamation project, which makes no sense because he's never had a year, other than the year he didn't play much, he's never had a year that doesn't have 1,000 yards. But he's considered a guy who was a big running back and now had an off year and some arrests, so he's garbage.
Really?
Yeah, which is crazy. So the Patriots got a steal here.
Yeah, they got it for nothing.
A steal, a second-round draft pick. And he says, quote, it's just kind of curious every time the Patriots do something or bring a guy in, my name comes up like I was a bad guy. Because whenever he brings somebody up, they're like, well, they brought in Corey Dillon and that worked. He said, this is later on.
Yeah.
He said, I'm trying to set that straight. First of all, if you go back in time, look who I played for at the time. Are you kidding me? People want to say that I was a bad guy in that situation? No, that's not the case about the Bengals.
Corey, forget going back in time. Go forward in time. They had a murderer on the fucking roster.
No problem with that. So the Patriots this year go 14-2.
Yeah.
Way different experience for
Pretty
old Corey
impressive.
here. They win the divisional round. They beat the shit out of the Colts. They beat the Steelers 41-27 in the championship game. And then they beat the Eagles 24-21 in the Super Bowl. Corey has 1,635 yards rushing, which is a Patriots franchise record.
Wow.
Season record. So, yeah, he comes in 4.7 a carry.
Wow.
He's one of the best backs in the league that year. They fucking stole him. That's amazing. Then after that, they'll draft Maroney and kind of do that. He makes the Pro Bowl that year again. So can't ask for anything more. Super Bowl champ. This is like Grace B here right now. 2005, the Patriots go 10-6. That was the year, I believe, when Brady got his knee fucking popped in the first game of the year.
Really?
And they had Matt Castle backing him up, I want to say, the whole time.
Castle, that's right.
Came in for the rest of the year, and they go 10-6. They make the playoffs, and they end up losing to the Broncos.
That's right.
If you remember that year in 2005.
Didn't fucking matter.
No. Corey only has 209 rushes that year for 733 yards. So he's platooned a little more than he'd like to be. And but he's happy in general.
Sure.
His mom says, quote, about the whole thing about him being mad and Cincy and happy now. She says, quote, you'd be mad too, losing all the time and playing your heart out while all the other players were saying they don't want to block for you. Okay, because he was talking shit about them. Quote, in New England, he knows that he's got everybody's back and they have his. So that's good anyway.
Or else, because Belichick will fucking cut you.
He says now he feels a whole lot better, like being released from jail.
Wow.
Jesus, the Cincinnati Bengals, one step up from jail. Christ.
You were making $30 million over 5 years, and that is jail.
That's jail. That's interesting. See, that's why I say athletes have a different experience than other people, because nobody else would say that ever.
To make $30
I got $30 million. How crazy is that?
I'll tell you how crazy it was. It was fucking jail.
It's jail, man. So
fuck you, Corey.
Jesus. Fuck you, Corey.
I will lose for 5 years in the NFL for $30 million.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
I'll fucking split duties.
You could never play me.
No,
you could never play me.
On the bench.
I'll play back. I'll be backup punter.
And
I don't care.
Still be a vacation.
I'll big smile every day.
Go team!
Camera pans on me. I just give a big thumbs up. Sit there all supportive. I'd be the most supportive guy. Yeah.
2 and 14, and I'll hold up a number one finger
all the time.
Every Sunday.
Eating a hot dog with one hand, foam finger with the other. Yay.
Every fucking Sunday. We're the best.
We're so good. So 2006.
Buy tickets to our slaughter next week.
It's going to be great. 2006. Corey here is the Patriots are 12-4, and they end up losing in the conference championship to the Colts 38-34. So that was the year I believe the Colts beat the Bears, I want to say, in the Super Bowl. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So they beat the Chargers and Jets leading up to that. And so still though, good team. He's not on a shit team. Again this year he's platooning 199 carries, 812 yards. So he's platooning again, and that's going to be the end of his career right there. Career over. Over the course of his career, 2,618 rushes for 11,241 yards, 4.3 yards per carry.
Per carry average.
For his whole career.
Wow.
Not bad. 82 touchdowns.
9 years?
Fucking good. Yes, 10 years total.
That is impressive as fuck.
Oh, it's a great career. That's
great.
His average season is about 1,100 yards, 4.3 yards a carry, and, some touchdowns. That's goddamn good.
Maybe 2 more years? That's probably Hall of Fame worthy, yes?
Real dependable. Yeah, if he played for a few more years, he could have been like a Jerome Bettis and hung on for, stacked his numbers at the end.
Storied in New England or some shit.
But New England doesn't do that. They wanted to shuffle him out. October 1st, 2007, the Bucks want to sign him. Really? Tampa Bay. Cadillac Williams is hurt here. He's a loss for the season with a knee injury, and so the agent for Corey Dillon confirms that the Bucks contacted them before the game was even over.
Really?
Cadillac hurt his knee, and by the fourth quarter, they were on the phone with Corey Dillon. Can you be here tomorrow? Is that possible?
We looked at the rest of our roster, and boy, does it suck.
It stinks. We have no runners. So the agent said that he texted Corey to see if he was interested and got back no. That was it.
Not even interested.
Not even a thought. Nope. Done. It's probably like, my legs feel good. Fuck that. I haven't gotten hit in the knees by a helmet in a long time, so I'm going to say no.
And they play in the Saints division, and the Saints at that time are killing people.
Yeah, exactly. No shit.
For legalities.
Yeah, no, you're right. So, he said he was finished playing. He didn't formally file retirement papers because he was getting accrued severance pay at that point. It's whatever, technical shit. His agent said, quote, Corey's not hurting for money. He's taking care of his money. Even if Dillon did file papers with the league to obtain his pay, he would not be precluded from returning to the field. Yeah. So he could play if he wanted to. On his reputation and his career, he says, quote, it comes down to we play this game, this football game to actually win football games. That's what you play for. I don't know what was on everybody else's agenda. Me personally, I was never a me guy, worried about somebody else's money, worried about getting paid. My main objection was to win football games, and my ultimate goal was to win a championship. That's what I was in the game for. That was my passion. And if you check, go ask former teammates in Cincinnati. I wasn't a bad guy in the locker room. My whole thing was, hey, listen, I'm tired of losing. And to sum up that and put it in a corporate America hypothetical situation, if you had a job where you feel you're going nowhere and you have an opportunity to better yourself and better your career in a different situation, you're not going to take that opportunity. But I do it, and I'm a cancer. I'm a bad guy. I don't know how people think that. I don't get it. I totally agree with that.
That's a good point.
If you're on a team and you want to be on a different team, I don't know why that's different from someone working for a law firm who wants to work for another law firm. Right. Guess what? You should be able to go work for that fucking law firm.
Go work for another
law firm. No one should be mad at you for
it. A law firm that makes money and wins.
Yeah, our law firm sucks. Right. We take shit cases and then we don't fucking do them well. What the fuck?
We take shit cases and then we fucking lose.
I don't want to do that anymore. This sucks, man.
What? Because we still get paid? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, who cares? I don't care. This is boring. I want to succeed.
Glory.
At some point, I want to succeed with something more than just having a car. That's nice.
Right.
So, 2008, he is inducted into the Dixie State College Hall of Fame.
Really?
He's there for 1 year.
May as well.
It's the best player they've probably ever had.
Probably.
So that's why. Spring of 2010, rumors start to happen about him coming back to the NFL. Not only back to the NFL, they're saying that he's trying to make a comeback and do it for the Bengals.
Oh, boy.
So he wants to not only come back, but fucking come back for the Bengals, which is crazy.
In 2010?
2010.
I heard also that Boomer Esiason approached him about a sequel.
About a sequel to his book. Listen, Corey, you're going to sit down and write a book with me, pal. Me and you.
It's going to be about a running back who can't stop punching women in the face.
It's going to be, I'll write the first half of the pages, then I'll hand it off to you, and you finish it off. Because I don't know the details about really socking one good and making them bleed from the mouth while they drive.
Tell me what it sounds like.
Come on. You can describe the thwack. So he's trying to play for the Bengals. That's spring of 2010. Early April 2010, his wife files for divorce.
Really?
Desiree files a petition citing irreconcilable differences in L.A. County. She files this.
What are the differences? He wants to punch her and she doesn't want to get punched?
I'd like to not be punched.
Well, I'd like to punch her.
I'd like to punch her. Well, he'd like to go back and get his head fucking bell rung a few more times. And I feel like that's going to lead to more punching. So I'm going to say no and get divorced.
Out.
They have 3 kids. They've been married for 10 years. Desiree wants full legal and physical custody of the kids, with Corey getting visitation and visits and all that shit. I guess he's fine with the kids. April 21st, 2010, a couple weeks later, he is pulled over at 3:38 a.m.
Hell yeah.
Near Malibu on Mulholland Drive.
Get out of here.
This isn't going to go well.
No.
Not at all.
Where was he? What fucking bar?
He was driving. I don't know. They pulled him over. They said listen to why they pulled him over, though. This is fucking insane. Normally, you try to avoid cops, especially if you're drunk at 3:30 in the morning. Apparently, they noticed a man in a red Chevy Camaro driving slowly right behind them. He was tailgating the cops.
He's shadowing them.
He was up their ass, and they said that they made a turn and he stayed behind. He was shadowing the cops. It was him and another guy.
Behind them.
So they fucking put the goddamn lights on and pulled over and said, "Get the fuck over, idiot. What are you doing?"
He tried to Scooby-Doo him. Stay behind him. They can't see us.
Well, you got to get real close so they don't see the headlights. That's the thing. If you get real close, it'll be below their hood.
Holy shit.
What the fuck are you doing? If you're trying to avoid cops and you see cops, you go left turn and they keep going straight, especially if you're behind them.
What do you say we go that way?
You give it a shot, they go, get close. What the fuck is wrong with you? Maybe they think we're real close. They'll think we couldn't possibly be drunk. Who'd be that stupid? I don't fucking know, but
oh, that's amazing.
They got out and guys said, but pardon, the fuck are you doing? Why are you tailgating us, you fucking idiots? And Corey, they said, have you been drinking? And he goes, we were drinking earlier in the evening. And they said, get the fuck out of the car, you dumb shit. What the hell is wrong with you? Smelled like alcohol. He's fucking, blows over a .8. So he ends up getting a DUI and is released on bond. Like, you dumb, why are you doing that?
Corey.
That's an unnecessary one right there.
It's genius.
You're looking for trouble.
I'm impressed with the drunk ingenuity.
Yeah.
Bury your headlights.
Just get right up behind them and then go slow. Because cops said they slowed down and he slowed way down too. And they're like, what the fuck is happening? Because they thought they were getting ambushed or something.
Of
They were
course.
like,
in
what's
LA?
going on?
Don't do
or
that.
if somebody needed help too. They didn't know if somebody was like trying to get their attention. So like, what the fuck? And then they see it's two able-bodied men in a car and they're like, what are you doing? Oh, you're drunk. I get it now. Let's go. Hey, stupid. Why are you following me?
That's by far my favorite arrest.
That's one of my favorite arrests ever. It really is. I've never. He basically pulled the cop over. We've never had that before.
Officer, I'm drunk. Arrest me.
Pull me over. The side of the road.
It's the best arrest in history.
I'm making a citizen's arrest.
Of me.
With your help. He pulled the cops over. We've never seen anyone do that.
That's so
before.
awesome.
That's almost as good as the Mitch Blood Green gas station incident. It's almost as good as that, where he just goes, I'll just take a shift. Start collecting
that one,
money
at least
gas.
there's benefit. This does nothing for him.
I don't know what he was thinking. I can't imagine what he was thinking. Well,
play it cool, man. Play it cool. Jesus Christ.
I just want to see what that bumper sticker said. It said not to beat the shit out of old people. All right.
I heard him Mitch Blood Green. I was picking up a shift.
I was pulling you over.
I was trying to help you, officer.
You were swerving and blurry in my vision. That's what happened. You were blurry. And I was like, they're very blurry. I should stop them.
It's unbelievable.
You gotta stop blurry people because they'll crash. They're super blurry.
Oh, you're arresting me. I'm arresting you for being blurry.
You're under arrest for blurriness. Ha. Hands behind your belly or whatever it is, and on your head, feet behind your head. Let's go.
I just laughed at myself. Blurry. That hurt.
So what a fucking idiot. So yeah, anyway, he's post bond. He gets out. So that was April 21st, 2010. May 2nd, 2010 here.
What?
May 2nd, at his home in Calabasas, California, Dillon and his wife, who are in the middle of a divorce, apparently are arguing over the custody of their child, which led to Desiree calling the police for domestic violence. She claimed that, let's see here, this is that, well, the cops could tell this had happened to her, but that he did this to her, that Dillon, quote, poured milk over her head, threw water on her, and poured soy sauce on her. What is he doing?
I mean, I want to congratulate him for not punching her. That's impressive. That's restraint.
No.
But he was standing next to the fridge, obviously, and just grabbed everything in there and just started hosing her. Anything liquid in the fridge.
What the fuck is going on?
What, is the barbecue sauce too thick?
Lucky we're not having hot dogs tonight, motherfucker, because I would spray you with ketchup and mustard like you never fucking believed. I got a jar of sauerkraut headed for your fucking head. Poured milk overhead, threw water on her, and then poured soy sauce on her. Wow. During the dispute, apparently here, she also told the cops that she suffered a superficial cut to her thumb, and he's arrested and held on $50,000 bail.
Yeah.
And later on, though, after all this goes down, she then tells authorities that he never hit her and her injury wasn't caused by physical contact with him and that she doesn't want to press any charges.
Really?
So, yeah, she pulls the whole thing back.
Okay.
But when they showed up, she was covered in milk and soy sauce.
Yeah,
and they were pretty sure she didn't do that to herself.
Right.
They were reasonably positive that didn't come accidentally. Oh, God, you know those packets?
Yeah.
Sometimes when you rip them, they just go everywhere. You know what I mean? Clearly. So, I mean, Jesus Christ, he's fucking talked a lot of shit about the Bengals, deservedly. He's had a tough upbringing. That's fine and dandy. But he started to take it out on other people. Yeah. I mean, his wife's involved in this. I can't imagine, because of the punching while driving, pouring soy sauce on the head and stuff. I feel like there's been a lot of incidents with her over the years. Yeah. Those weren't the only two things that ever happened. One was just, it was a shock because it was the first time maybe, and this one was just because they're getting divorced and she didn't give a fuck. But during the marriage, apparently, I bet she took a lot of abuse from him.
10 years.
I can't be sure, obviously, but something happened.
In 10 years, it's rare.
I hope not.
Yeah,
but
right. But it's very rare that the domestic violence call is time one.
That's what I mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's for sure dressed her down a time or two.
Something happened.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad for her. I really do. I mean, I feel bad for a lot of people, but not nearly as bad as I feel for Corey Dillon.
A white man.
Well, this one's a black guy.
All right.
Corey Dillon, sales consultant at Toyota of Brookhaven in Jackson, Mississippi. Corey Dillon, this guy's very white. Secret superhero / Lyft driver.
I hate him.
He's in Phoenix, too. So
get out of here.
Order lifts till you get this one and then sock him in the back of that fucking head.
The real superhero.
Corey Dillon, manager agronomy. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Agronomy. It's farm shit. Manager agronomy research farm at Penn State University. Right. Wow. Hopefully he's not a kid diddler.
No.
Penn State, I hear it all. Corey Dillon, corporate wellness coach in the greater Denver area. Okay. And Corey Dillon, project manager at Focus Construction, LLC. Corey Dillon, finally, CPA, MBA, federal tax senior staff at Crow in Columbus, Ohio. So trust Corey Dillon with your taxes, everybody.
When you started rattling out letters, I thought you were going to say fucking like
NBA.
Marital fucking therapist or something.
Marital therapist, yeah. That would have been perfect. Perfect. Yeah. Jesus, I would have loved that. May 13th, 2010, they decide prosecutors that they will not file criminal charges against him for the domestic, for the soy sauce incident. Right. Yeah. It turns out he was just trying a new marinade.
Yeah.
It was weird. That's what the judge decided. Who am I to say that's not a good marinade? It might be delicious. I don't know. Maybe it's a tempura. I'm not sure.
Kikkoman's is delicious sometimes.
It can be good.
Yeah.
So June 21st, 2010, Jesus Christ, the office announces that it has charged Corey Dillon with 2 misdemeanors in connection with his drunk driving arrest in April.
Yeah.
So he does get charged for that. July 16th, which is court for the DUI, he pleads no contest to it. The judge says, you, sir, may fuck off, and gives him 2 years of probation, 12-hour alcohol program, and ordered to pay a $250 fine. So that's that.
And then laughed his balls off.
And then said, hilarious.
I can't believe you got
So
caught.
you did what now, stupid? What are you, stupid? Jesus, dummy.
What an arrest.
Oh, so September 2018, you're asking for it. Yeah. I mean, you can't ask for any more than that. September 2018, his house is for sale here.
Really?
Or his house sells.
Oh.
It's been for sale for a while. Want to hear the listing?
I do.
Kind of do, right?
Yeah. It's going to be fucking beautiful.
Welcome to Mount Calabasas.
Oh, my God.
A beautiful and exclusive guard-gated community in the gently rolling hills of Calabasas. The chef's kitchen kitchen leaves nothing to be desired with an expansive eat-in breakfast area, pantry, butler's nook, gorgeous cabinetry, and countertops, Sub-Zero and Viking appliances, and a center island with separate sink. The floor plan is absolutely ideal and flows perfectly. The first floor features a light and bright formal living room, inviting formal dining room with stone fireplace, a family room, and 5th bedroom / maid's room.
Yeah.
The upstairs features a master with large walk-in closet, private office, sitting room, and balcony, and a dual fireplace for master bedroom and bath. Oh boy. 3 additional bedrooms also have en-suites, plus an upstairs office, media room, and large entertainment area. There is so much room to stretch out and play inside and out. The adjoining outdoor living has an appealing ambiance that is situated to take in the expansive grounds, which encompass a built-in outdoor tiki bar / barbecue area, gorgeous rock pool with a waterfall feature, water slide and spa, half-court basketball court, and a 4 putting surface golf course.
Oh, so it's got, is it like
a putting green, I guess.
4 miniature holes?
Beats the shit out of me.
Maybe.
I don't know. But the house ends up, it was on the market for $2.25 million.
That's only $2.25?
And it ends up being sold for $1.925 million.
Wow.
Yeah, it was outdated inside. I looked at it.
Really?
It needed some updating. But still, that's a good deal for where it is.
Sub-Zero and Vikings.
And for where it is, it's a good deal just for the real estate there. Big. It's foothills of the Santa Monica Mountain Conservancy Zone.
Yeah.
And it's 5,024 square feet.
For less than $2 million.
Fucking big house.
That's
in that
great.
area. That's good. They say a wrought iron staircase is the first thing you see in the interior.
Yeah.
Hardwood floors and all that shit. Very nice. Loft and master suite, balcony, all this type of cool shit here. 2019. He's back in the news again last year because, well, when the Patriots signed Antonio Brown, they brought up, like Corey Dillon. So he's like,
no.
He's like, stop comparing me to him. Now, he hasn't even gotten arrested. My fucking rap sheet, clearly, if crime is a fucking prerequisite, I'm a Hall of Famer. This guy's a fucking rookie. When does he get arrested? I'm constantly in jail. Gee, well, what's his milk and soy sauce recipe? Shit, probably, compared to mine. So he says he does not like comparisons to Antonio Brown at all.
Really?
Yeah, he says he's tired of it. He doesn't like it. He's here to set the record straight about his name appearing next to Antonio Brown's. Tired.
Yeah.
He said, quote, I've got nothing against AB. He's a hell of a football player. He said more about him than Walter Payton.
Yeah, he did. He gave him higher marks
than Walter Payton. Okay.
in a protection league.
Yeah, in a protection league. It's interesting. But
Antonio Brown couldn't hold the worst player's jockstrap in 72.
Well, he could athletically, he would kill the guys, but not Walter Payton's jockstrap. Walter Payton was the shit.
They would light him up.
They would definitely kill him. Yeah, they would injure him, but not before. Yeah, he would before they caught him and injured him, he would fucking run all over the field for.
I don't know that he'd catch the ball in that league.
No, because you could still, up until 77, you could still
murder on the field.
Pass interference was generally legal
right.
until then. So yeah, that'd be very hard. So he says, quote, but I find it kind of curious every time the Patriots do something or bring a guy in, my name comes up like I was a bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to set that straight. He said, if they knew what I was going through in Cincinnati, my name wouldn't even be mentioned in that light. If you want to bring me up, to be frank, I'm a Super Bowl champ. So why don't you say, go be like Corey Dillon, a Super Bowl champ who went over and won one with New England, instead of Corey Dillon, this problem player, and the Patriots picked up and changed his life. No. He said,
the time you were with New England, you didn't get arrested, man.
That's the thing. You were doing, you were winning Super Bowls.
They kind of did.
That's what it was.
Your life.
Yeah. He said, quote, the thing about AB, I'm praying for my brother. I wish him well. It's a perfect setup. All he has to do is catch the football. All he has to do is show up and play and catch the football. And trust me, he will be knocking on a Super Bowl. It's as easy as that. I'm happy for him. I'll be watching that. And then he obviously didn't work out. There, but he was happy at first. Currently, if you trust CelebrityNetWorth.com, which you should never trust because they say that we're millionaires, which is hilarious. So if you trust them,
boy, the world that they live in, I want to be in it.
I do too. In this world, Corey Dillon has $11 million still. So
I'll bet he does. They said earlier that he took care of his chicken.
He took care of his money, and he sold his house for a couple million. But he also went through a divorce.
Yeah.
But who knows? He might have $11 million.
He might have $6.
He might might have something. Who knows if he was smart with his money?
Yeah.
You never know. Can't get enough Corey Dillon.
Boy, can I?
He'll be out there eventually. But I found on eBay, I found some used Bengals Corey Dillon jersey for like $35. Then I found the old school 70s, 80s red Patriots jerseys.
Yeah.
The throwbacks. Right. One of those signed.
The stripes on the shoulders.
Yeah, signed one of those for the red one for $189.99. So if you want some Corey Dillon, you can get him there.
That's game worn?
No.
Oh.
That's just signed.
Oh,
it's not
Jesus.
game worn. It's a regular jersey, just
Okay.
signed. Game worn, that'd be cool as fuck.
Yeah.
But that's Corey Dillon, everybody. And Corey goddamn Dillon. That's
unbelievable.
Yeah.
What a story.
It is, and it's one of those stories where like I didn't really know about it.
It's amazing that he had a career.
To really go back. That's the thing. That's what's amazing. You have to give the guy a shitload of credit for coming from all those arrests. I mean, he was in a deep hole, to the point where after high school, everybody else in the NFL after high school, they're being recruited hard. He didn't have any of that. He was off. He was being a janitor, getting arrested after high school, and he fought his way back in. Went to 3 different colleges, and I mean, you got to give the guy a lot of credit for that. Really? I just wish if he just didn't have 3 different incidents of violence against women, I would be okay with the guy because shit happens.
Respect for him.
People drive drunk and they act stupid, or they do stupid shit in the street, or they do shit when they're younger. I'm not going to judge somebody for that as far as their character goes.
Right. I'm not going to demonize them.
But I've never even thought to punch a woman in the face in the street.
Never.
That's where it ends. No. I've never punched a woman in the face while she drives.
No.
I've never said I'm going to try my new marinade on my wife. Never.
Listen, I will tell you, I've thought of it. if you keep yelling, I'm going to punch you, and then I didn't.
I'm going to put soy sauce on you.
I will tell you this: she did keep yelling.
She did keep yelling. One of those 2 things came true. That's good. I'm proud of you, Jimmie. That is Corey Dillon, and we hoped you enjoyed that. And sorry we had some sidetracks in there as well as far as that shit goes, but
it's frustrating.
It's just we're frustrated, and we're fucking human beings.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it that you don't want to hear politics from us, and we're talking about shit that shouldn't be politics.
There's no reason in the world it should be.
Our politics are common sense.
Yeah.
That's our politics. We're very fucking logical people. We have, that's all we care about is, does this make sense or not? We don't have a team.
Yeah.
Don't care.
And moreover, my politics are, how's this going to help? Because that's what it is. We just need things that help people. Because
I don't have a fucking team on the matter.
I don't want to give anybody a goddamn thing, but I'd love to help.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to give anybody the best life. I want to give them the opportunity and all the help that we can.
If I could give everybody the best life, great. I'd love to. I want everyone to have a fucking great life. That'd be wonderful. It's not even that, but we need... Just fucking, I don't know, man. Our politics are our own, and don't fucking worry about it, basically. We're just people.
People the best.
We're just people, and we just don't want crazy shit going on. We just want logic. I just want logic. That's it. I just want someone at some point to go, hey, this is stupid. Maybe if this and this, because that makes sense, we could try that. Right. Hey, good idea. That's all I fucking want. Is that a lot to ask for?
And you know what? If my plan doesn't
work,
let's try yours.
Let's try another one. Right. I don't know. Just logic.
Let's try yours that sounds logical, too.
Just logic. It's not a lot to ask for.
Rodney King had a really great quote. And I'd just like us all to get along.
Logic, man.
That's it.
That's all we want. That's all we strive for. That's it. Great.
To the police's point too, the ones that are really aggressive, maybe that will create a really great idea. Like, let's all get along.
Yeah, it's gonna
beat the great ideas into us.
Good.
Then I guess
help.
Let's try that plan.
That's good. Yeah, maybe that'll be the answer. Now that I think about, well, if you callous the brain, as we heard earlier in the episode, Jimmie, if you callous the brain,
it's too late, James. They should have done that to us when we were.
Oh, that's the problem. Okay, beat your children, everybody. So that said, thanks for listening to the show. If you have not yet, please get on Apple Podcast, that purple icon. Give us 5 stars. Doesn't matter what you say. Just please write something because it helps drive us up the charts. And God damn it, we know that we could use that. It always helps. Also, go to shutupandgivememurder.com for everything crime and sports and small town murder related. Mm-hmm. You can get all your stuff there, merchandise, tickets to live shows. It's a one-stop shop for everything possible with crime and sports and small town murder. And then you should be listening to Small Town Murder every damn Thursday when it comes out. It's your ass on there. subscribe, fucking download. Do that. Also, P.S. I Hate This Movie every Friday, you lazy bastards. Get on that too. So listen to that. It's going to be good times had by all, as always. Please follow us on social media. We are at Crime and Sports on Twitter and Facebook, at Small Town Murder on Instagram there. And also, if you want to be a hero of ours, God damn it, not only a hero of ours, but you'll be a producer. You'll have your name said, and you will get access to tons and tons of great bonus material that we do. We put out a lot of bonus shit.
We're going to keep doing it.
We're going to keep doing all the bonus stuff. So sign up for that. Anybody over the $5 level will get access to all the shows for Crime and Sports and Small Town Murder bonus. So everything. And next week, I think we might go back to let's do a bonus of those classified ads again. Yeah. That was fucking fun. I'll find a shitload of crazy classified ads and we'll make that the Crime and Sports bonus next week because that's a good time.
I'm going to get a good key of what those fucking letters mean.
Do that. Yeah. Find that. We'll be prepared
and understand what these fucking people are talking about. Talking in code. Jesus.
Shit. The letters used to cost by the letter.
Yeah, so you got to do a little code.
But you could be one of those people and get your name read and everything at patreon.com/crimeinsports or head over to PayPal if you just want to be a nice person and give us some money because you're a nice person. You can do that very easily over at PayPal using our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com. Right. That's also a good way to get a hold of us. And that said, speaking of getting a hold of us, these people that you're going to mention have gotten a hold of us. Mm-hmm. Not only that, they've given us money, and they're wonderful people, and they deserve their names said, and I will not stop. Jimmie, pour it over my head like a bottle of soy sauce. The names of the greatest people in the world.
This week's executive producers are Stephen Rude, Tracy Mitchell, Jordan Bennett, Ryan McCluskey, Melissa Turner, Clay Thorson, and his pups Odin and Loki. They're his pug. He had to put his dog down last year. He got 2 new pups. And it's their birthday also.
Hey,
so thanks, Clay.
Birthday.
Appreciate it.
There's a lot going on there.
It really is. Clay's got a deep well of emotion happening. Christine Palmer, Nash Esseman, Amanda. What did I do? Shit, is that Lewis or Laws or Lands? Oh my God, I'm the worst. I'm sorry, Amanda. MJ, Christy Hovaninen, probably not. Eileen Ocachella. What? Chris Valdez, Riddell Turner, Joshua Neal Clements, Maria Cephas, Rob Beer, Eileen with no last name, Lori Shandor, Ali Manlove, Tinas Yo, I think, or there was a bunch of E's. I'm sure I didn't pronounce that right. Casey, what did I do? KB Martin? I think it's Casey. Casey Martin. That's what that is.
What have I done?
Dan Burnite, Chris DeYoung, Carolyn Kriglow. No, yeah. Lauren Kyle, Jackamus, talk, what is it? Jackamarius, talk the Ritricks. I don't know what that is.
My God.
I did my best. Valerie Wilson, Carrie Ann Castellano.
Hey.
I don't want to fuck that up. She's connected.
Yeah,
Cheyenne Eden Finelli, probably connected also. Erica Silberman. Ma'am. Dawn and Tanner. I don't know if it's and or just like the letter N. So thank you, Dawn and Tanner, maybe. Jess Cam, Jennifer New, and Joelis Lopez. Thank you guys so much for everything you do. We can't do it without you. Other producers this week are Zach Golizet. It's his birthday. His brother says he's ugly, but he listens to the show. So sorry, Zach, your brother hates you. Liz Vasquez, Tracy Mitchell, Michael Perry, Susanna Platt, Amanda Knight, Paul Williams, Naomi, I think, Simpson. I think that's what I wrote. Probably not. Ashley Vio, Jennifer Visconti, Christine Leischel, DeAntre, Lindy Simmons, Justin Monroe, Kristen Richards, TJ Bartlett, Peyton Meadows, Amanda Turner, Will with no last name, Jean Lyon, James Martyr, John DeLong, John Knickerbocker, Christy Dodson, I think.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah. Jillian Grazioso.
Fuck up all the Italian names I noticed. This guy's got a terrible Italian.
I love spaghetti. I really do. And on every other.
I love spaghetti.
Every other goddamn thing you guys make. Reagan Shaukley, Stephen Schnell. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Alex Robertson. What is that? Alzia? No. Alex Marchantante?
Another.
Isabel O'Brien.
Sorry, paisans.
Serena Lewis. Lex Lozia. Alex Lozoya.
Hey.
Mariah Kip Sousley. Maria Kip. It's just Kip Sousley on Twitter, I think. Michael, Sentiani. Kim Perry. Adrian Trill, Ben Lambert, Anthony Knott, Gabbage Vasi Nate, Raphael Corno, Sam and Wendy Susan Stalker, Liz Bryan, Eric Smith, Allie Smith, Janice Hill, Robin Anderson, Ma G, Megan Malcolm, Thomas.
Yep, I got it. I got this one, everybody.
Thomas Brown, Danielle, Jackie Sukup, Rachel Lambert, Jonathan West, Monica Bailey, Mindy Debus, Eric Cifelli, I am not aroused by feet. I don't believe you. Diana V, Austin Beamer.
You had to mention it. I can't believe it.
Krista Walker, Stephanie Hicks, Mary Carter Goal, Rosie Pagli.
Again, see, guys,
Capali.
This is on purpose, I think. Now he's got it in for us.
Jerry Exxon, Noah Marby, Rise Probin, Pink Zebra, independent consultant Dominique Baljoma, probably not. Jocelyn Meyer, Lisa Cirilli. I'm not doing that on purpose. All right.
I love it.
Chase Forbes, Jillian Lindemann, Laura Blakesley, Joe Leslie, Ava Atkinson, Matt Nixon, Kristen Olden, Katie Price, Christopher Palco, Andy with no last name, Amanda Rutherford, Laura Reyna, Stanton Parson, Dick Minge. Yeah. I said it again. Anthony Columbero, Laura.
Hey! Oh! Holy shit!
Laurel Christie.
I'll call the headquarters and let them know.
Nicole Moore, call the Knights of Columbus.
I'll call the Knights of Columbus Hall and let them know it's the Sons of Italy Hall. I'll give a call down there.
Sony Backlum. I don't know. Quinn Kunzikinski? No.
All right, take that, Polacks. One for you.
Allison Mead, Jamie Newsom, Matt Zick, Nicole Allison, Keith Marler, Tanya H., Alexander Reinertz, probably not, Emily Malinowski, Jennifer Wright, Kathia Alvarenga, I don't know.
Okay.
Jessica Dixon, Michaela Danby, David Tatcharus, damn it, Tatterzook, Andrea Lura, Paige with no last name, Ryan Daxton, Jess Liu, Mark O'Brien, Jester Lackey, Lauren Gray, Lizzie Stumbaugh, Mate Ruiz Smith, no, Matey, Mayette.
Maybe like he's a mate.
Rice Williams.
What's up, mate? Thanks, mate.
Lee Main, Trisha Hinkle, Lucy Vasquez, Allie Kirk, Carlton Klein, Benjamin Baker, Jaw with no last name, so obviously Rule. Josh
clearly.
Brooks.
Thanks, Jaw.
Brent Howard, Jacob with no last name, Kelly Carlson, Kay Birch, Allison Davenport, Tyler with no last name, Craig Livermore, Norman. What? Dominique Cherie, Hayden Owens, Elizabeth Dixon, Jennifer Long O'Hare, Damon Thompson, Jacob Stormont, Martin Lewis Williams. What? William White, Krista Graham, Jeremy Scribner, Summer Stanley, Cassandra Pyle Bacho, Gina Dillon. Stephen, no, that's Sean. Briley, Stephen, that's why. Steve Tancredi, Shannon Sullivan, William Wetzel of the Pretzel Fortune.
Thank fuck.
Tyler White.
Some of that pretzel money up in this bitch.
Tyler Whalen, Tyrus Blasey.
I'm spending pretzel money this month, everybody.
Deanna Buck, Tim McBride, Dylan Alexander, Sean Kelly, Robert Cook, Fred Widmore, Neva with no last name, Alexandra Studer, Aaron Fischel, Lisa Atkinson, Siobhan Valley, I think, Chris Gregory, Stephanie Olgan, Martin Williams, Dustin Manley, Megan Matthews, Angela Russell, Amanda Hickling, Miles Wilson, Robert with no last name, Krista Hale, what is that? Oh boy, Zach Allen, that's what that is.
Hey.
Good Lord. James Jordan, Bradley Vander Kay, I think, Paul Vamos.
Vamonos.
Michael Miller, Cameron Big Sexy Ortega. No, you don't get to do that.
Come on.
Jacob Bender, Kevin Buckley, John B. Taylor, Charles, oh boy, what did I do? Ovesny, Kyle O'Coin.
He's going to change his name to Charles. Oh boy, what did I do?
Katie Wallace, Jeffrey Steelflex? Probably. What? No, it's not. How dare you?
It's a porn name.
It's it is Jeffrey, or is it Jefferson?
Does it matter, really? The first name? The first name's irrelevant here.
Andrew Simon, Ann Peacock, Char Green, Jesper Nohage, Morgan Skeen, Mel Quinn, James Skellman, Stephanie Steen, Jay McFarland, Marguerite Stigliano. Yes. Sicily. No.
Yes.
That's not it either. Shit. Siciliano, right?
Okay.
With the G, the G's silent? I don't know.
It depends on, yeah.
Probably. Marguerite.
It's a Marguerite.
Certainly yeah. Liz Cummings, Michael Hartley, Paige and Julie, Chris Davis, Lindsay Jarmaine, Mel Hancock, Jack Shaw, Dim Huggan. I dig that.
Nice.
Very impressive. Rebecca Sykes, Jay Sean Martin, Jamie Moy, what is that? Solana, Don, Enrique Amparo. Jessica would know last name. Chris would know last name. Lou would know last name. Jamie Houseman. Sophia Rosselli. Yep. Samantha Domina. JBB. Mark Schrade. Daniel. Carlos Rodriguez Figueroa. Bryce Frisky. Denise Bray. Daryl Fordham. Sybil Starr. Cody would know last name. Rebecca Harris. Thomas Smither. Larry Butterfast, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Definitely.
Shannon would know last name. Roseanne Hatch, Evan Gorey, Rebecca Stearns. No, Jacob Stearns. What?
The hell did Rebecca come
Sorry,
from?
Jacob.
Jesus Christ, Jacob.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Wow.
Jesse Cooper.
If you ever transition, now you know. You're Rebecca.
I've picked it for you. Alyssa Nesbitt, Beth Hicks, Caden Carpenter. Yeah. Carla Jerez, Sarah Cribb, Emily Peters, Aaron McCain, Louise, Ryan or Ren, Rue, Lori Allen, Lowry Creech, Madeline Everarts, Monica Nelson, Melanie Martin, Rock City Games, Aaron Clark, Catherine Blankenship, Amy Easton, Christina Trent, Dean would know last name, Aaron McPhee, Atticus would know last name, Junebug Jones, probably the best name this week.
That's a good one.
Carr, James McQuaid, Julie Fierro, Jocelyn Converse, what? Fierro and Converse?
Yeah, cool.
Carista Medler, Caleb Jester. We're getting close, man.
I like it.
No, we're not.
No?
God damn it.
All right, let's do it.
Thank you,
fuck
guys.
it. We love
so
you
much.
guys. Thank you.
Brianne Johnson, Lindsay with no last name, Renee Wilson, John Broyles, Devin Sylvia, Kate Norton, Dulce with no last name, Aaron Jones, Candace. Dora, is that Jora? Leahy, Sydney with no last name, Regina Clifton, Laura Cole, Eric Lord, Jennifer Kilpatrick, Heather Trump, Gabaja Voice Visa, Nettie, nope, I'm so sorry, Adrian Padilla, Mike Pisani, Carly Keir, Caitlin Horton, JB, Laura Sauter, Jacob Turner, Andrea O'Rourke, Jared Butler, Jake Metter, Jamie O, Damian Buchemin, Chantel with no last name, Sherry Littlefield, Dave Bon Keen, God damn it, Samantha Worry, Pam Bellinger, Desiree Navarro, Jacob Chauvenard, Chauvinard, Bethany Pryor.
Working hard, Jim.
I'm doing my Marley Gore, Sarah Dempsey, Marley Gore, Jordan Kuykendall, Becky Copley, Dan Moran, Matilda Carter, Jessica Sprankle. MG, is that MG Hudson? I hope. Alex Davis, Hannah Davis, Gertej Baines, I'm sorry. Slick Rick, Cy Cannon, Jake Merceau, Matt Sillette, Trent Becker, Lisa Becker, Sarah Cleveland, Maria Radcliffe, Annette Acevedo, Ines Ishmael, Meg Srendel. I'm so bad at this. Dario Moyes. Summer Sidney. Summer Sidney. Amanda Gallipo. Melissa Randall, Allison Tate, Sylvia Smith, Melissa Schmaltz, Heather Hardman, Alicia Horner, Taters, what up? I don't know what that is.
I don't know either,
but that's a thing.
What up, Tater?
Josh Melhorn, Shay Martin, Christy O'Donnell, Leanne Hatch, Monica James, Stephen Rossiter, Molly with no last name, Dee Marie, Shelley Vandenberg, Robin Jarul Setley, Moore with no last name, Cody Purcell, Ryan Andrews, Joseph Miller, Tion Marsh. Now we're close, guys.
Hey.
I think. No, we're not. What happened here? How did I get so deep? I don't know. That sounded gross.
Get so deep.
Fotinos, Jacques Delisle, Peyton Sports Girl, Erica Herrera, G Girl, Cassie Kennedy, Jillian Proctor, Ashley Britton, Rebecca Fuller, Alex with no last name, Rory Owen, Cam, Void, Bryce, Abigail Hall, Amanda Sherrill. No. Stephen Nutter, Kendon, Adam Pulvermacher, Hannah Swan, Andrew Clark, Messaid, Janet M, Sarah White, Katie Hoffman, Kyle Boyack, and then another Kyle Krasowski, Nina Tedeschi, Rachel Strauss, Elizabeth Milbert, Mike Schmidt Jr., probably not really, maybe.
That's possible.
So.
We don't know.
Murray? No. Mark. Merv Speaker? I don't think so. I think it's Myra. Samantha with no last name. Danielle Dole, Bob's daughter. John Wegner. Serena Hernandez. Daisy Ray Hayes. Lindsay Burns. Nicholas. Allie Miller. Andrew Gillen. Michelle Corbett. Crystal Malinowski. Raymond Smith, Sarah Kirschman, Natalie Foster, L. Derby, Lindsay Redmond, Ralph Benetti, Jason Owens Addison, Lacey Ford, Harry Bridges. It's Gross Bridges.
Hey.
Jennifer Justice Thompson, Justice Johnson, Monica Bingham, Sarah Chauman, Akina with no last name, Elliot Rise Coleman, Jessica McArdle, Niall Gargan, Derek Matthias, Genevieve Capral, Andy with no last name, Lynn Hollier, Trevor Porter, Francis with no last name, Kyle McHenry, Johnny Block, Brent Sheik, Caleb Brown, Casey Taylor, Miranda Ekstrom, Mackenzie Heron, Katie Watchstein, Tom Kohler, Megan McDonald, Ashley Porter, Brian Johnson, Annette Fries, Brandon Hall, Nathaniel Redicop, Mary Letta Morgan, Danielle Rickles, Elizabeth Gidland. Now we're close, I swear to God. Thank you guys so much for supporting what we do. Josh Tompkins, Mark Chenier, Jenny Siegel, Ryan Beer, Tyler Sharp, Carly with no last name, Emma Jones, Jonathan Cox, Jackie Edmiston, Janica with no last name, Nathan Ebaugh, Tyler Dean, Rachel Colleen, Rachel Schulteis, Unicorn Husker, Philip Patrick Breton, Justin Smoleski, Ryan Phillips, Melanie Zocketel, Brett Sparks, Tyler Scara, Hay P. Roy, David Mahi, Chelsea Guild, Casey McAllister, Stephanie McClintock, Austin Horton, Laura McAllister, Zach W., Dylan Mathis, Ann Siegel, Penny D., Christy Larson, Neil Waugh, Mike Spradlin, Michael Schmidt, Erica Zofchak, Sherry Borner, Colin Etheridge, Samantha Simmons, Danny Hale, Jay the Man 7724.
Oh, well, Jay the Man.
Very specific man. Cole McGregor, Travis Croxford, Becky McKay Schultz, Ashley Rizon, Leroy Walker, Selena Vignaud, Andrea Alacron, Christina Young, Mara Spencieri, Petey Dinky, Kelly with no last name, Anna Morrison, Ian Mitchell, Denise Giardini, You are right, by the way. You're onto it. It's the Italian
you
ones
have a
that
hard
really
one with
fuck
that.
me over.
You really, it's all those vowels.
Caitlin,
oh, no.
Caitlin Bach, Chris Cotting, Matt Elmer, T3DRUX. I think that's somebody's license plate. Jonathan Packer, Haley Pierre Ramsdell, Ryan Wolf, Petey Dinky. I think I said that. Dylan Landquist, Julia Lyons, Eric Willis, Russ Palmer, Angel Kurtik, Sean Breen, what is this? Katie Latulip, Linda Duran Campbell, Lion Wegman, Katie Devlin, Noah Chapman, Katie Watkins, Dylan Hamrick, Karen Dowd, Stormy B with no last name, Aaron Stackman, Brianna Stinson, Matt McLean, Casey Locke, Amber Parker, Caleb Michael, and we are home stretch, my friend. Alyssa Skorich, Sarah Dunn, Nikki Crafey, Marshall Erickson, Candy Simmons, Caitlin Parsons, Austin Christie, Lindsay Furster, Jesse Shingle, CJ Brigman, Harrison Fryermuth, Brielle Doutright, Megan Magley, Mitchell with no last name, Brianna Wright, Jenny Stiegel, David Mahi, Erica Moore, Demetrius Fries, Matthew Clark, Vance Casey, Kim Sullivan, Jen Marie, Veronica Botello, Adam Jones, Foxhole Atheist, T. Wood, Dyke Memes. I hope. Oh boy, you son of a bitch! What? Cameron Now, Dr. Greggles, Laura Blakesley, and all of our Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, everybody, so much. Yeah. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you for everything you do for us. We obviously can't do it without you.
No.
And we're just blown away by everything that you do to help us. So thank you a million times over. What if they wanted to thank you or insult you or, I don't know, tell you their tempura recipe? How could they do it?
I'm exhausted with it. It's WHISMAN sucks. If you can find that anywhere, do it. Yeah. Otherwise, thank you all so much for the support of this show because you're why we do it and you're making it worth it. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Where can they find you?
You can find me at Jimmie P is funny or just copy and paste my name and you'll you know how to look at it. If you want to find someone, you can goddamn look them up. People find where strangers live.
Right.
You can find me on social media if you want.
You found Don Lemon's address. You can find my handles.
Exactly. So do that. Find us. Keep coming back week after week after week. God damn it. Live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We will see you next week.
Bye.
If you like Crime and Sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel. Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.